She's paying tonight too. Woo. What's in this, Saint? Peace, peace. Saint in the building. Cat Johnson in the building. Peace, peace. Mayani, what's happening? She cooling, just getting off work. You already know how that is. Just getting off. Oh, I got some nice gems I'm about to revamp for everybody today. Well, I got some nice gems I'm about to revamp for everybody. It's been a minute since I covered this. It's been like 2022, 2021, 2022. And I brought this out to everybody. What's happening, Kim? Peace, peace. This too shall pass. What's happening? Glad y'all can tune in. We got 6 people. Let's get 6 reposts jumping real quick before TikTok start playing with your boy. You already know how that go. So let's get 6 reposts jumping. Let everybody know that we on live. You know what I'm saying? Get it in. What's happening, Duckster? Peace, peace. No, roll it if you got it. What's happening, Vic? Peace, peace. Bill, what's happening? Sirens loud as hell, boy. Sirens loud as hell. What's happening? Appreciate the gifts. Thank y'all for the gifts. We're going to get started here in a second. We're going to let some more people get in here. We're going to utilize this time and get our pre-rolls together real quick because we in for a nice little segment. You know, we'll probably stay on till about like 8, 9 o'clock. What's happening, TR? Peace, peace. Bella, was good? Yeah, we'll probably stay on till about like 8, 9 o'clock. Got some dope gems for us today. How many of y'all just started following the page like this year, last year? I'm just trying to see something real quick. Like, and I'm gonna ask some more people when they come in here, but like how many of y'all been supporting the page for like y'all just not tuned in this year or last year? Let's head into 216. Peace, peace. Copper Pisces in the building. Appreciate that repost. If y'all haven't hit that repost button, make sure y'all do. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. TR man said 2 years in. For real? I thought you been here since day one, TR. I could have sworn you've been around for a grip. It's only been 2 years. That's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate you. Appreciate that follow. What's happening? 216 said 2 years. Okay. All right. I see y'all. See y'all. So this gym I'm about to bring out will be about new. Yeah, Kim, I know you've been around for a grip. Yeah, I know you've been around for a grip, Kim. I appreciate you too for tuning in and for this long too, man. I really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. It means a lot to see a lot of the OGs still here. What's happening, Raw? Peace, peace. Raw Madman in the building. About to take this damn band-aid off my finger. It's hard for me to twist up with this thing on my finger. Got these damn paper cuts on my hand. I've been here for 3.5 years with you. You been around for a grip, Bella. Yeah, you been around for a grip. You been here about 3 months. Okay. That's I only ask because of a couple of gems I'm about to bring out for the next couple of days. Is gems that I brought out probably like around 2022, 2021 and stuff like that. So I just want to see how many people, where did people start, you know what I'm saying, supporting the channel at, so I know. Said, how was your day? My day good, man. My day been good. You see what's in my hand. My day about to get real better. Yeah, but other than that, my day been good. Shit, been ready to get home to get to this. Shit, that was the longest 10 hours. I'm telling you, that was the longest 10 hours I ever been without some trees. I was at work for 10 hours going through it, boy, ready to go. Like, fuck, man. Only because I forgot my trees this morning. I woke up late, rushing and shit. I ain't even get a chance to roll, wake and bake. I was in that motherfucker cranky, full of coffee. That's a bad combination. So, you know. No, for real. I appreciate that. I just got it done last week. Appreciate it. It was time. It was time to get it done. I was over here looking like a European. Health, wealth was happening. Rizzo was good. Peace. I can save this for when I get off of live. Yeah. Say that for when I get off of live. Start cleaning up the crib from head to toe. Man, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? How was y'all day, man? How was y'all day? How was y'all Tuesday? How was y'all Memorial Day? You know what I'm saying? Everything good? Hope so. Proud Seeker in the building. I didn't start really smoking gas until I'm like 22, so everybody got me beat. Oh, man. What's happening, Tori? Roots down south was good. TG, what's happening? And 22 is when you started? Man. A late bloomer, ain't we? My man 2 and 6, a late bloomer. It's all good, though. It's all good. I've been smoking gas since I was 13. I've been smoking gas since I was 13, man. I started early. Well, I ain't gonna say, so when I was 13, I was like a weekend smoker. I ain't started becoming an everyday smoker until I hit by like 21. About 21 years old is when I became an everyday smoker. But I used to be a weekend smoker for a long time. We got 40 people in here. Just get 40 reposts going, 40 shares, 40 gifts slanging. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. What's happening Friday? He said book club. What's the featured book? Sit tight. We'll throw the book on the screen here in a second. Yeah, that popcorn. You already know, Tori. Yeah, that popcorn. Definitely had that popcorn for sure. Man, that popcorn and that damn that old school dro. That old school dro that was like 25 a grit. Shit. I put a little something on my stomach if I get started. Man, I already know what it is. Man, shout out to everybody that's in here, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You said whatever happened to Reggie? Oh man, the government pulled Reggie off the streets. It's still out here. You gotta find the old school people. You gotta find the OGs. But the government pulled Reggie off the streets because Reggie is actually the natural gas, like organic, natural, straight from the earth. Sticks in it's organic. So they pulled it off, right? If your fruit has to have seeds, most definitely your cannabis should too, right? But they pulled the Reggie off, and then once they pulled the Reggie off from the streets, then that's when all the gas started becoming, cheap. At one point in time, I remember gas used to be like 25 a grit. That's how young I am, right? 36. I remember gas used to be 25 a grit. You know what I'm saying? But when they pulled the Reggie off, shit, gas became like you get you a 3.5 for like 20. You know what I'm saying? 25 get you a 3.5 type shit. So, but yeah, it used to be exotic. It used to be something that everybody couldn't get, but now everybody got it. So it's not really exotic no more like that. For real, it ain't really exotic like that. It's just it's gas is regular now. You be up for a half a day out there, man. Look, I miss that good Reg. That good Reg used to have you where you need to be at, man. I'm telling you. You said anybody had that one homeboy that said he only smoked gas and don't smoke Reggie? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Man, a whole lot of my homeboys used to say that shit. And I ain't never tripped because they give me even more reason to face it. I don't want to smoke that, fam. On the gas over here. Shit, cool with me, nigga. I'm gonna smoke this motherfucker extendo to the face. I'm cool. All right, we got 51 people in here. We about to go ahead and get started. One time for the YouTube. What's happening? What's happening? It's your boy Signs Up for the Conscious Mind. Check it in. You already know what it is when I come across your For You page. Stop. Tap in. Dope gems, dope historical facts, right? So, today is going to be an American Indian live with a religion twist. All right, listen to what I'm telling y'all. Today is an American Indian live. But we about to throw a little, I don't want to say religion, but for layman's terms, we about to throw a little religious twist to it. I'm about to show you how America is the old world and how a lot of stuff came from here again. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we like doing. Showing everybody how America's the real old world and how a lot of things came from here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things came from here. Right? We talked about giants. Okay. We broke down mountain ranges, oldest rainforests. We talked about American lions, American cheetahs. We talked about the camel being from America, indigenous horses, all type of stuff, right? So we're about to talk about Jesus. Yeah, y'all heard me. We about to talk about Jesus. We about to get into the spirit. All right. Y'all tap the screen, share the live. Hit that repost button. We about to talk about Jesus. All right. So with that being said, let me go ahead and put the book on the background for where we're going to start at. Well, let me go to the word first before we go to the book, right? So, how many of y'all know that Jesus is an American Indian word? How many of y'all knew that? It's 45, 50 people in here. How many of y'all knew that Jesus is an American Indian word, specifically Ojibwe? How many of y'all knew that? (216) said I didn't. Ojibwe, Algonquin, right? All right, a lot of y'all didn't. Okay, that's good. That's why I asked y'all how long y'all been following my page. because I'm revamping the old gym from 2021, 2022. All right. You didn't know that? Yeah, Geezis. Geezis is an American Indian word. It comes from the Ojibwe Algonquin language, right? So if y'all want to screenshot this and do it yourself and show people or whatever, right? And I'm going to let y'all hear how the word is pronounced as well too, right? So when you go here, right, y'all can screenshot the background, right? You're going to go here, which is an Ojibwe online, right? It's a dictionary, Ojibwe online dictionary, right? When you go here, you're going to type in sun, okay? Right? You're going to type in sun. It said Jesus means Jesus in white. It's not the same as native languages. What the hell are you talking about? Jesus means Jesus in white. What is white? Y'all just be coming here saying anything. What's that, Geechee, man? Peace, peace. That man said Jesus means Jesus in white. What does in white mean? What do in white mean? I could tell somebody don't read no book. The white culture, white people don't have a culture. There's no such thing as white culture. Ain't no such thing as white culture. Real. I'm just being real. There's no such thing as white culture. And Jesus means the Son, as he is always referred to as the Son. So Jesus, Jesus, the Son. That's what it means. I don't know if you're talking about this white culture shit. Shit crazy. Jesus is not even Caucasian language. The word Jesus is actually Roman, Greek, and Ojibwe. There is no word Jesus in Caucasian language. The word Jesus is not Germanic or Slavic or Russian. So there is no Jesus in Caucasian language. Boy, y'all be trying hard to give everything to white people, don't y'all? They be trying hard to give everything to white people, but that shit a little spooky. Y'all will give the world to them if you want to. Potato salads and raisins is their culture, man. Look, was that correct? For real, but they be they be trying to get everything to white people. They don't know where it came from, so they just automatically assume white folks, which is crazy. Where that come from? I don't know. You're white people. I don't know. You're white people. I don't know. You just give everything to white folks like that. It's crazy. That's why them niggas is controlling the world, because y'all too busy giving everything to them. What's any day, Dylan? I'm gonna be real. That's the only reason why them folks is controlling the world right now, is because y'all be so quick to give everything to them. Right? You said it's been taught to everyone? Nah, it hasn't. But look here, Claire. This is a coloreds only live, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to escort you to the back of the bus, Rosa Parks style. Colored people in the front onlys. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you find the white side of TikTok, because it's coloreds only over here, shawty. All right, good day. All right, now back to what we was talking about, right? Back to what we was talking about, right? So y'all can screenshot this, right? Y'all can go to the Ojibwe online dictionary. What you're going to do is you're going to type in the word sun. All right, you're going to type in sun, and then you're going to hit the search button, okay? When you hit the search button, it's going to take you to a list of words that means the sun. But as you can see, what comes up? Y'all know how to pronounce this word? Y'all know how to pronounce this? Giizis. Y'all know how to pronounce this? It means the sun. Let me show you how it's pronounced. All right? Let me pull it up for you. Geezis. Here you go, listen. Geezis. Y'all can pause and right? Geezis, right? Geezis. That's how it's pronounced. Geezis means the sun. Jesus, 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 the son, huh? Jesus, Jesus. Geezis, right? In Ojibwe, Algonquin, Geezis is the sun, right? And it also means the month, okay? Geezis also means sun, moon, month. M-O-N-T-H, month, like the month, right? And it says it right here at the bottom, right? Here we go again, drop down. Geezis, right? Sun, moon, Gisa, Geezis, right? So it means sun, moon, and month. All right, y'all with me so far? Okay. All right. All right. Geezis. So I'm bringing that out for a reason, because now we can get into the book. All right, let's get into this book. Let's get into the read. We got a lot to cover, right? Y'all can screenshot this book right here. All right, shout out to all my American Indians in here. Peace, peace. America's the real old world, right? Right? Geezis, Jesus. This book was published in 1870. The two great books of Nature and Revelation, or the Cosmos and the Logos, right? Logos meaning what? The word, right? Being a history of the origin and progression of the universe from cause to effect, right? From cause to effect, more particularly of the earth and the solar systems and et cetera, et cetera. Y'all see the title. I ain't about to read that long ass book title. I don't even know why they be making these book titles so damn long in the 1800s. For real. Hey, but y'all see the book title. I ain't about to read all it. Y'all see it. Screenshot it. We about to get into it. This book was published in 1870. For real, that's a long ass book title, man. Man, they could have left it at two great books of Nature and Revelation, and we would have been good. Maybe at the Cosmos and Logos. It's like a paragraph for a title. Nah, facts, for real. So, y'all ready for some read? Roll it if you got it. Pull it if y'all got it. Y'all know how we get down. High Learning Book Club. If you're new to the page, make sure y'all hit that follow button so you'll be notified every time I go live. We got 74 people in here. Just go ahead and get 74 reposts if y'all haven't reposted now. Let's get enlightened. Let's get enlightened. So flipping the page, we shall begin right here, right? We got to start at the beginning. Got to break it all down, right? So, as y'all can see, right? Jesus the Son, right? Jesus the Son, right? What did we just see in American Indian, right? Jesus the Son, Jesus the Son, right? What's happening today, Dylan? So we starting with Apollo. Listen real closely, right? Hidden Gems, what's happening? Peace, peace, y'all. So Apollo, or the light-giving sun. That's what Apollo means. The light-giving sun was invoked because the sun of nature was the symbol by which the ancients worshiped the sun of the heavens, the fountain of life and light. And this name was inscribed over the great door of the temple of Apollo, or temple of the sun, all right, at Delphi. The Lo, or aspired heligo, is the root of love. Lo, the root of love, or Juv, or Lova, right? Lova. So also IE, right? IE was but a modification of LO, right? IE is a modification of LO, all right? Low. And is the same as Y or J, which united the soft and sibilant S and makes wise, or yes, or jazz, right? Jes, jazz, or jess, right? Jess, right? Which the Roman Terminius, or us, became yes, us, right? It's telling you, right? Yes, us, ye's, us, Jesus. So they telling you how it broke it all the way down, right? So it becomes eventually Yeezus or Jesus, which is literally the Son, right? Which is literally the Son, literally the Son, literally the Son. They said what? They said Jesus or Yeezus, Geezis, the Son, right? Which is literally the Son of heaven, or the solar fire. What's that in pop? Peace. Or the solar fire. The rudimental letters wise denoting fire, right? Wise denoting fire, right? Iceland is in Scandinavian tongue Wiseland, right? Wiseland, or land of fire. The early Christian converts inscribed upon the altars this name, Yeez. All right, Yeez. The name of him who is the Son of Righteousness, right? S-U-N, Son of Righteousness, which afterwards became changed from Greek to Roman letters and read thus IHS, still Yeez, which were supposed to be the initials of Jesus, Harmonian Salvator, right? Or Jesus, the Savior of man, okay? The Son, which is the Savior of man, right? There is a religious sect in Syria, Kurdistan, and etc. who receive the scriptures and are called Yazdites. We talked about them briefly, right? The Yazdites, right? The Yazites. We talked about them briefly when we was breaking down Thoth. I don't know if y'all remember when we was talking about Thoth, but we broke them down recently when we was talking about Thoth, right? The Yazites, or the Yazites, who worship the sun, and their temple is dedicated to it. So great is their devotion here, though, or there too, that they kiss the object, Shalom, right? That they kiss the object on which its beams first fall. Listen closely. Among the North American Indians, who's the North American Indians, y'all? Y'all let me know something real quick before we keep going. I gotta check y'all mentality. I gotta check y'all mindset. I gotta check the temperature. Who is the American Indians? Who is the American Indians? Okay. Now, Jesuits come from something else. Jesuits come from something else. It's a spin-off of this, but it's Jesuit is a corrupted term from this. Exactly, us. We are the American Indian. Yes, Black Americans. We are the American Indian. What's that now? Or peace. Yeah, we are the American Indian. Me and all my Black American brothers and sisters. We are definitely the American Indians. Facts. All right. You can say the Moors, the Indians, the Sephardic Jews, Atlanteans, Atlantides. They all the same people. They all the same people, right? So among the North American Indians, this appellation is similarly preserved. Listen, among the North American Indians, this appellation is similarly preserved as the name of the solar god, Geezis, which means the sun, behold me, right? Great sun, behold me, Geezis. So the American Indians also had a word, right? Geezis, Jesus. Now, before we keep going, how did those words, how did they get like that? The Greeks and the Romans, which people may think is way overseas, just for context, they got a word called Jesus. But the American Indians, Geezis, both mean the sun, but mainstream history would tell you that those two ain't never crossed each other. What's that? A1? Peace. Thank you for the gift, right? Mainstream history would tell you that those two ain't never crossed each other though, right? But I do got a book called Algonquin Conquest of the Mediterranean region. And I also got another book called The Mayans in Rome. So what if Geezis was taken over there when we went over there, especially since the Algonquins and the Atlanteans are the same people? What if we took Geezis over there? Just like we took a lot of things over there. And what if they latched on to it? Right? Ah, shit, cooling, right? Maybe they latched on to it. Do Gaza? Probably. I haven't did no research into Gaza, but it probably do. Gaza, probably do, more likely. Right? The Pyramid of the Sun, Giza, Geezis, Pyramid of the Sun, Pyramid of Giza, the sun, yeah. Right? Jamaica, right? Right? Got Ja down here, right? Jamaica, Mecca, Jamaica, the Mecca of Ja. Be right there in your face. Right there in your face every time. Jamaica Indians, the Indians of Ya or Hawaii, right? Peak game, America, the real old world, is right here in your face all the time. They teach you an Anglo version of so-called English. If they taught you the real, you will already know this right here. This is why they don't tell you the real, right? Jamaica, the Mecca of Ya. All right, so we have Geezis. Let's keep reading though. Yeah. How easy is the transition from Ja, Ya, yeah. Ja, yeah. Right? And yes, Jesus. Right? Let's keep going. America, the real old world, where did everything come from? Let's keep reading. So, United Church of later days have ignominiously rejected and disowned because they did not understand them. Long before Judaism was established, the one absolute and indivisible God was known and worshiped in all the earth, right? He was known as supreme and omnipresent. Now, what is supreme and omnipresent? What is supreme and omnipresent, y'all? Do y'all know what's omnipresent? I'm not asking for the definition. I'm saying, like, what is omnipresent? Remember what we talking about. Jesus. The sun is omnipresent, ain't it? The motherfucker's always out. The motherfucker everywhere, ain't it? Listen, what's happening, little piece? Listen, the sun is omnipresent. It's always present. It's always around. It's everywhere. It's over here. It's over there. It's over there. It's over there. And it gives life. Without the sun, there will be no life. Geezis. Right? Peep gang. Right? All right? And consciousness. Right? Consciousness. Plasma. Ether. Omnipresent. All right? Omnipresent. Okay? So every act of life was dedicated to him and his protection. They talking about the sun. Right? To him and his protection was invoked in all things. In the least as well as the greatest, almost the first sound that could be uttered by an infant was the name of God. The first sound uttered by an infant was the name of God. And this name was repeated in every invocation. The soft breathing sound of ah, ah, hawa, ah. The breathing sound, ah, hawa, ah. Remember what consciousness is? Remember what psychology is? Psi, meaning what? Soul, spirit, and breath. Right? Because soul, spirit, and breath all goes together. Consciousness. The first time a baby, an infant is born and it gets consciousness, right? They get the crying, but when you listen to a baby's cry, when you listen to when a baby call you, ha, right? The breathing sound, ha, or it's modulated, ya, ha, right? Which means they modified it. It was never ya, it was ha, hawa. This turns into the meditation sound om. This turns into the meditation sound om. Om. Remember when we learned about Buddha and his mother Maya? Another name for Maya was what? Right? What's that into gracious peace, peace? Do y'all remember that? I don't know how many people was in here when I did the Buddha live. Remember we read that though inside the Anaclipsis book about Buddha, his mother Maya, another name for Maya. When you meditate, all right. So and go hand in hand. Frequency. In the beginning was the word. Frequency. Vibration. Consciousness. Right? In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God. Consciousness. Right? Peep gang, let's keep going though. Or combined as ya-ah. 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 Or ya-oh-ah. Ya-oh-ah. Or as y'all say, Yahawashah. Right? Yahoah, Yo-oh-ah. Or Jehovah, right? Jehovah. Remember, they added this Yah, right? They added the Y. They added the Y. They added the J, right? It's the soft breath sound, right? So from times immemorial were the divine and holy names, and these were interjected extravagantly in times of peril, surprise, or joy, in the exclamations, oh, ho, ha. Go back and listen to what American Indians chant, right? Yo, ho, ha, or ya, ya. Ya, 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 right? People be saying that Indians and Sephardics aren't the same. Shit. They are. What do Indians do around the campfire? Right? Another symbol for the sun, plasma, fire, burning. What do? Hi, ya, ya, ya. Right? Hi, ya, ya, ya. They calling out to the creator. Right? Calling out to the creator. Right? P gang. What's happening? Peace, more star in the building. Yeah, logo. Yeah, the word logo. Yeah, we definitely the Indians. Facts. Soul got a song called Ay. Yup. And JT Money too. Right? It's all frequency, breath work, dance, love, prayer. Right. Facts. When you want a horse to gallop faster, what you say? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then for those of us in the black community, we like to name our children what? Yaya. Right? We like to name our children Yaya, whether it's a man or woman. I know homeboys and homegirl, both of them Yaya. Who that is? Oh, that little Yaya them. You know what I'm saying? Like P gang. You still do your culture today. I'm trying to tell you. I promise you still doing your culture today. Y'all might think I'm teaching y'all. I just feel like I'm helping you remember. Because they took our memory from us. They gave us amnesia. So this is me helping you remember. All right? Exactly. Ha is breath in Hawaiian, facts. When you wake up in the morning, or when you go to sleep, right? When you wake up in the morning, you go to sleep. The first thing you do is call out to God. I promise you. When you first wake up and when you go to sleep, you call out to God. What you do? Yeah, stop playing. That's the first thing you do. Yeah, all that. Yeah. You be calling out to God in the morning. Don't even know it, huh? All right. Big game. What if babies still speak an indigenous language? I've always said that. I've always said that every time I hop on live, just to get you to think. What if babies come into the world speaking our original language? You think it's gibberish because you don't speak it no more. And because you think it's gibberish, you start to indoctrinate your child to speak on this frequency that you speak on, which is a lower frequency. Babies and kids can understand each other with no words, all sound, frequency, and vibration. They be at the park having a ball, and we don't be knowing nothing that they be saying. But they really be talking, though. As adults, we too arrogant to realize that babies and kids and children and the youth are actually more smarter than we give them credit for. They are fresh from source. They more fresher from source than you are. You haven't come from source in 30 to 40 to 50 years. These kids just got here from source. 1 year, 2 years, 6 months. Nigga been on earth in the physical realm for 10 years. And y'all think, and this is the thing that makes me kind of like batting my eye at certain parents and shit. Like, y'all expect kids to get this physical realm down packed and you ain't even got it down packed. Why you jumping everywhere? They running it because they a big ball of energy. They just came from source. Nothing but energy. Plasma. This is why your kids is energetic and they just off the... Ain't nothing wrong with them. They ain't got ADHD or none of that. That's how you a big ball of energy. You fresh from source, nigga. You everywhere. Until society get a hold to you and start dimming your light, then you be like, oh, 9 to 5, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But Pete Gang, kids is more pure to source than you think. They more tuned in than you. You just forgot what it was like to be a kid. And because you forgot what it was like to be a kid, you don't know how to guide a big ball of energy. So you sit down. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Stop. Oh, you get to screaming and shit. And sometimes when you scream, it makes it worse, for real. You tell them to stop, they keep going. It's a reason for that. This is why you still have to be in touch with your inner child so you can still speak to the next child. But that's the whole reason why they want to kill your child's like spirit inside of you, which causes a disconnect between you and the youth. And you see it every day. A lot of elders be out here forgetting what it was like when they was a child. They do. They forget what it's like to be a child. And I check an adult any day. You talk down about the kids, the young and the youth, I check you every day. Man, these kids is out of control. They fighting each other. Like y'all ain't never fought before. My daddy was born 1955. I know about them street fights. Y'all didn't always use hands. Y'all niggas came with knives, broken bottles, chains, bats. Some people lost their lives back then. It was actually more gruesome because you got to get up and close with shit. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? You know, little gun, you can do that from a distance. Not justifying, but I'm saying back in y'all day though, it was up close and personal, nigga. I want to look in your eyes when I stab you, nigga. Like, whoa. You feel me? So it's a little bit worse back then, right? Stop acting like that. Right? All these kids want to do is drugs. So did y'all. Y'all acting like heroin went out in the 70s and 60s. Y'all acting like y'all wasn't patting y'all nose with the cocaine in the club during disco days. Some of y'all act like y'all ain't tried the LSD and listen to Jimi Hendrix and shit. Some of y'all act like, okay, come on, bro, stop this shit. Y'all done smoked a little bud before, man. Some of y'all still do. The kids ain't doing nothing new. It's the shit that y'all been doing when y'all was a kid. It's the same shit. History only repeat itself. Ain't nothing new that nobody's doing. But because you lost in touch with your younger self, you don't know how to commute with the youth. You don't know how to communicate with them. You feel what I'm saying? And they ain't doing nothing but doing the same shit that y'all did. They're gang banging. Y'all rolled in cliques, groups and shit. Trust me, I was raised by the old school. Ain't nothing that an old nigga can't tell me. You can sit here and deny it all day long. Like I said, my dad was born 1955. Yes, the fuck y'all did run in cliques. Jump in other neighborhoods and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas wasn't always dance battling. Sometimes that bitch got bloody. Niggas was out here bootlegging. He selling them drugs. Y'all used to bootleg. Y'all used to sell alcohol and shit. You used to sell cigarettes and ran numbers, and y'all was trapping too. And y'all was selling little trees. Y'all was trapping too. Stop it. Let's get back to it though. Y'all forgot what it was like to be a kid. Y'all forgot what it was like to be a kid. And because you forgot what it was like, this is why the youth don't really want to listen to y'all. I'm telling you what it is. I'm a 90s baby. I'm that bridge between the elders and the young folks. They don't want to listen to y'all because y'all so judgmental and not understanding. Even though y'all live the same life and y'all got some gems, but y'all won't give it to them. Let's keep going though. So, but among the Greeks, the Y or the Yod, right? The Yod of the Hebrews became the steel, soft I or L-O, low, the name by which, flipping the page, all right, flipping the page, by the name which scriptures is also another name for the sun. All right, or the Lord, that's what they mean, Lord. Right? Lord. Lord is another name for the sun, right? Lord. It's crazy because Lord also means bow. Lord also means bow, but it can also mean another name for the sun too. Or the Lord and giver of light, Osiris, Bacchus, Prometheus. Y'all remember the Anaclipsis book, right? All of these gods are Negroes. For those who need that, remember, all these guys are Negroes, right? What's going on? Oh, boy, I thought my shit was coming okay, I thought my shit was coming undue. What's that? Be for all? Peace, peace. Right? All these guys are Negroes. Remember, we read that a long time ago, right? In the Anaclipsis. But they said, right, the giver of light, right? Lord, also the giver of light, right? Osiris, Bacchus, Prometheus, right? Esculapius, and etc. are also representatives of the different manifestations of this type of the sun. These are different manifestations of the sun. Remember what I told you? One deity going by many names. All right? Remember what I told you that? A lot of times it be one deity going by many names. These are different manifestations of the sun, right? Also Buddha, Krishna, Ra, Thoth. Mainly Thoth. Thoth is actually kind of like the first name for the sun type shit, right? And even when you break down the Genesis, you're talking about Thoth and consciousness, right? You say Thoth or thought, right? Because when you see T, how they spell that shit? T-O-T-H or some shit like that, Thoth or whatever. Some people say Thoth or thought, like thought. You had a thought, right? He was a scribe. Before you can scribe anything down, you gotta have a thought, which is in your mind and your consciousness. So when you break down Genesis and they say in the beginning was the word is the scribe, and the word was with God, right? Thought, consciousness. Peep game, man. Peep game. Your pastor ain't gonna break down the book like that to you. I'm telling you. Hey, look. Your pastor ain't gonna break it down like that. In the beginning was the word. The word was the scribe, thought. Or thought. And he was with God. God what? Pure consciousness. The monad. The one. Right? All right, let's keep reading though, because it's about to get juicy. Right? So all of these are manifestations of this type of the sun. Okay? Of the spiritual heavens. As in the sacred writings, he is called, some people call him Jehovah, Jah, El, Elohim, which is plural, and etc. The account of Prometheus or Pyrometheus, right, means fire of the self-existing God. Prometheus come from Pyrometheus, which means fire of the self-existing God, which was written 500 years BC, before Christ, informs us that bringing down this fire from heaven, who was bringing down the fire from heaven? Thoth. Right, peep game. Listen. Right, bringing down this fire from heaven, or manifesting the love of God and teaching, quote, each useful art to man, unquote. Who was doing that? Thoth, right? Hermes, Prometheus, Pyrometheus, huh? This is the self-existing God, right? God breaking himself off, right? Remember when they talk about the monad was one source, divided itself into feminine and masculine, right? Think like that. So you got source splitting himself, giving you Pyrometheus, right? Prometheus, which is the fire of the self-existing God, right? As they tell you in the Bible, right? Jesus and the Father is one. All right. So Pete gang, right? So one and the same. He's putting himself in a physical world now, right? From the spiritual, he's coming down into the physical world, right? falling angels is also, we'll get into all that, right? But it's the manifestating the love of God and teaching, right? Each useful art to man, unquote, and instructing him in the divine wisdom. He was bound and chained to Mount Caucasus for 30,000 years. So who are we teaching? Because y'all know that this is us. I just said that all of these are Negroes, right? Osiris, Bacchus, Prometheus, all of these are so-called, Negroes, black guys. We already read that, right? So this is us. This is our ancestors. This is us. This is us, right? And what are we doing? We're teaching man or mankind. Who is these mankind? Well, those that's in the Caucasus Mountains and been there for 30,000 years. But they wasn't pale skin yet, though. They was niggas. Not all niggas know what to do. That's all I was like. So Ty, you got to teach these niggas, man. So that's what we did. And when we taught the darker Caucasians, they taught the lighter ones that manifested or mutated later on. So that's where the white people got their knowledge from the black Caucasians who got the knowledge from us when we went to go civilize the world. We'll get into all that. This is only the first book. We just not getting started, right? Shout out to everybody that's in here. Oh, yeah, we only been on for 50 minutes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we just now cooking. We slow cooking today. Everybody good? If you got any questions, feel free to ask. All right. So they was bound and chained, though. Listen, these melanated Caucasians was bound and chained to Mount Caucasus for 30,000 years. Now, somebody else was bound and chained in what they call Sheol or hell. We'll let that marinate, right? So, right, white devils had to come from black devils, right? I'm just being real. Everybody like to say white devil, right? The white devil had to come from a black devil. Always remember that. This is why the devil in early times was depicted as black. And then they turned them red after they encountered the red man. But before that, the devil or Satan was always depicted as black. Which is another reason why you shouldn't call yourself black. Let's keep going, though. Let's keep going. All right? So, let's drop down to the footnotes real quick. All right? So the sun is the universal type of God among all nations. His various names denoting so many various aspects and characters or quality in relation to man. Man, right? By Prometheus or Pyrometheus, the proceeding heat and light of the sun seem to be used as symbolic of the heat and the ardor of the love of God. Listen to what they're saying. They said that, and y'all gonna make me flip to another book so I can put it all together, right? In the Miscegenation book, remember, they told you that all knowledge about the hereafter and spiritual world and beyond come from Negroes, Asiatic Negroes, not Hamites, Shamites. The reason why you are so in tune to spiritual shit is because your ancestors created this spiritual shit, or at least not created, but are the ones that the spiritual shit came across, and we taught everybody else because a lot of folks weren't in tune, right? See, it's a beautiful thing about being Shamites, children of the soul, sun, right? Children of the sun. When you call yourself children of the sun, right? Peep game. Peak game, peak game, peak game. So it's a reason why you are always interested in spiritual stuff. It's gonna always keep calling you because it's embedded in your soul. So the sun is the universal type of God of all nations. So it's the universal type of God of all nations, and there's children of the sun on all land masses, right? What you call Aboriginal people, right? Or Originees are the children of the sun, right? Not all, but specific ones. Let's keep going though. So now, all right. So by Prometheus or Pyrometheus, the preceding heat and light of the sun seem to be used as a symbolic of the heat in the order of the love of God and the light of his divine truth. Some people don't like the light and the heat of the sun. Listen to what I'm reading to you. If you want to know who the devil is on earth, the ones who are allergic to the sun. Those who the sun rejects. To us, children of the sun, the heat and the light feels like love, right? Being sun-kissed, right? Being sun-kissed. Shout out to my melanated people. But to other people, they can't kiss the sun. They get burned. I'm just keeping it real. Hey, shit, look. Hence, he is called the fire bearer, the light bringer, right? The fire bearer, the sun, the fire bearer, the light bringer, right? The sun, right? Hence why he is called the fire bearer and the fire bringer, aka light bringer. The sun is the devil and Satan to the people who's allergic to it, hence why they keep trying to cover up the skies. Are y'all following me? If you want to know who the real devil is on earth, pay attention to who has a negative reaction to nature. Because only children of the sun is also children of nature. Sun is your father. Earth is your mama. Mama Gaia. Mama Gaia and the sun creates life. But everybody don't come from Gaia and the sun or soul. Gaia and soul. Everybody don't come from them. Let's keep going though, right? So the fire bringer or the fire bearer, right? Listen close. The Hebrew, remember, American Indians, America, they found Paleo-Hebrew, Phoenician in America, right? Listen, the Hebrew or the Sanskrit, you still speak Sanskrit. Don't believe me? Go research a lot of your words that you use in Ebonics. They got a lot of Sanskrit and Hebrew to it, especially when you say the word ganja. And that's a Sanskrit word. Ganja is Sanskrit, and it means exactly what we use it for in Sanskrit. Peep game. You still do your ancient tradition. Remember, history repeats itself. And if history repeats itself and you are the children of the sun in the history, you still do your shit today. You just forgot. They wiped your memory. Fluoride in the water, red 40 in the food, the sun being covered up, air ain't no good. You got amnesia now. They disconnected you from sun and earth. Right? Let's keep going. So the Hebrew or Sanskrit roots of this word appears to be Thoth. Well, I tell you about Thoth. Sun, Thoth, Osiris, Bacchus, Prometheus, Pyrometheus. All of these are Thoth. Remember my Thoth series. Remember we broke down Thoth. Thoth is who? Hermes, Anubis, Osiris, Ra, Bacchus, Prometheus, right? We broke it down, Thoth. X-Men Apocalypse showed you Thoth. Go back and watch X-Men Apocalypse. In Egypt, the sun hit this tomb. Thoth riz up, had the unk on his stomach and his chest, which is what he holds. The mutants asked him, "Who are you?" Thoth told you what? "I go by many names." He started naming the names that he go by. Yahweh, Krishna, Buddha. Y'all call me many names. Thoth, sun, Hawa, right? Peep game, it's in your face. And Egypt is in America. So let that sink in. So the Hebrew and Sanskrit root for this word is bird Thoth or Ptah. Who is Ptah? Thoth, Ptah, Osiris, Bacchus, Prometheus, Hermes, Anubis. I go by many names. The sun is the universal type of God among all nations in his various names. I go by many names. Your pastor ain't gonna break it down like that, right? Even though your pastor know this, because most pastors are Masons, they know this shit. They ain't gonna tell you this shit though. They want you to keep reading Matthew, Luke, and John for 40 years. They want you to keep reading goddamn Luke and John and Matthew for 70 years in the next generation, in the next generation. Right? Yeah, we've been on for an hour now. Right? So, bird Thoth or Ptah, right? They go that Ptah, Hawa, they go that breath, right? Bird means pure and bright or pure bright light. Right? Ur of Chaldees, or being light. So when we go read that book called Ur of the Chaldees, this is the light of the Chaldees. And it tells you the beginning of the Israelites. What's happening, Big C? What's happening, Vegan? Peace, peace gang. All right. So from Ra, the sun, and the powerful emanation or going forth of this light and heat, from which the Greek word per or the per or pyre means light and heat, from which the Greek word per or pyre is obviously derived from. Greek got their name from the Hebrew and the Sanskrit, right? Here we go. OM, OMO, or EME, is the Hebrew radical form of heat itself or essential fire. AUM, or OM, says Professor Rashfik, which I got his book, is a holy word, quote, common to India. What India? This is the 1800s. Tibet, Tartary, Persia, and Moshe, the Moshika, Moshe. What India? America. Tartary, America. Persia, guaranteed America if Egypt is in America, right? Moses, Moshe, South America, Jerusalem. All right? It is the of the Magi's. The Magi's, right? The Moors in Persia. For those who don't know, Magi are the Moors in Persia. Israelites, the original Persia, Shamites. These are children of Shem. All right? Peep game. The supreme God of gods of the Hindus, says Mr. Squire, was less frequently expressed by the Brahmins than by the mystical symbol of Om, which corresponds to the Hebrew Jehovah or Yahuwah. So Om translates to Yahuwah, Hawa, Ah, right? Ah, You ever get a ringing inside your ear when you just be chilling? What's happening, Lou? Peace, peace. Wagwan. Right? You ever just been chilling and you get a ringing in your ear? I don't know about y'all, but I frequently get ringings in my ears every day, every second. Always. You get a ringing in your ear, sometimes like a humming sound. Somebody's trying to talk to you, but you are disconnected from the language of frequency. And you know, scientists, and y'all know I take everything that scientists say with a grain of salt, but scientists says that they captured the sound of the sun. And ironically, the sound of the sun, if you ever sun gazed and you see it pulsating, all right. Look, man, P gang, I'm telling you, it's a lot of stuff that it be right here in your face. But let's keep going though, because this should get deeper than this though. This is just the beginning. So the Occidental I of the Greek, which denotes essence or being, is evidently the same as the Oriental, right? Asiatic, right? Oriental, the East. So I in Greek is the same as the Oriental Om, from which also we have the English word I'm, or I am, the great I am that I am, OM, I am, frequency, I am that I am. This is why words and spells, you got to be careful when you say I am and you give yourself a characteristic. You have to. Right? You got to be careful. Remember, you are the spirit. I don't see your question, bit dog. You might got to retype it. Right? Remember, you are the soul experiencing a frequency or a physical realm, right? You are the soul in a physical realm. Your name is a characteristic. Believe it or not. I mean, you can kind of say that your name is an adjective if you want to say that. You are the I am. Who are you? I am. And then you give yourself a characteristic. Think about it. Your name comes with a definition. My name means blacksmith or black knight. Dooley, right? Who are you? I am Dooley. I am a blacksmith. I am a black knight. I am is who I am. The great I am. So you got to be careful when you be saying this shit. Niggas be talking about I am on demon time and I am this and I am that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? The power of the tongue is very important. You manifest all the time. You manifest all the time. When you look up the definition of future, I don't know if y'all ever looked up the definition of the etymology of the word future. The word future, it The etymology of the word future is not even close to what you think it is. Like, if somebody asks you what is the meaning of future, you'll be like, some shit in like way in the front, like tomorrow or 10 years from now. Like, that's what you'll think. But that ain't got shit to do with future. Future has everything to do with speech. I swear to you, you can research it now and come back. Future has everything to do with your speech. So do past. Past have everything to do with your speech too. Everything starts in your mind first. That's your present. Right? Appreciate the gift, Lou. Your mind and your consciousness, your thought is the present. When you begin to speak, that's the future. So this is why your elders tell you, speak life into your future. Speak things into fruition. You gotta, speak it. In the beginning was the word. Right? Right? In the beginning was the word. I am. Frequency. Sound. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, the Son. All right? So let's keep going though, because this shit about to get even more deeper, right? So OM, remember, we talking about the Son. The various names, right? Yahweh, right? Remember, we talking about breath, right? We talking about breath, right? So OM turns into am or I am, right? The Egyptian Tho or Ptah, Ptah, right? In a similar manner, gave birth to the Greek Theos, meaning God. Theology. Theology is the study of God. Theo, Greek meaning God. Ology means the study of. So theology is the study of God. How the hell you gonna study God? But, that's what theology is. So Tha or Ptah, right? Soft breath, right? I am. Is the similar manner that gave birth to the Greek Theos, meaning God, or the divine word. Thus, the Greek Prometheus, or Theos, or Prometheus, is the presiding or descending of the heat and light and love and wisdom. Prometheus, divine light, love and wisdom. What did Geezis, remember, right? Geezis, right? Appreciate that, Adrian, right? Geezis, remember Geezis, right? Hold on, let me go to it real quick. Hold on. Where is it? All right. Boom. So remember, Geezis, don't forget, this is what we talking about. So what did Geezis, the Son, tell you? I am the way, the truth, and the light. Geezis, I am the way, the truth, and the light. All right? All right. I am. Like literally, I am. That's what it said, right? We down here with it, right? I am. The great I am, right? I am the way, the truth, and the light. All right. Ye are gods. Huh? So the meaning of Prometheus, right? That's what we broke down. So let's keep going. We're going to say Prometheus for part 2 when we do a thought breakdown. So just keep moving, right? The symbolism of the heavens, which is the beautiful and the flowing and the sitting in a chair with 2 ears of corn in her hand. 2 ears of corn, right? America, corn, right? Corn, 2 ears of corn, right? This goddess, this beautiful goddess in heaven on the chair with 2 ears of corn, right? America, right? In her hand. and the sucking of an infant called Jesus or Geezis, the son, by some nations, and Christ in Greek, right? The Arabian astronomer Al-Bazar or Al-Bulazar has his passage quoted by Kicker Seldin and R. Bacon and Dupuis. Quote, in the first deacon of the signs of the Virgin, following the most ancient traditions of the Persians, the Chaldeans, the Egyptians, Hermes, and Asclepius, a young woman called in the Persic language Saldinios Diladar Zalama, in the Arabic, right? And what the fuck? Hold on, my bad, y'all. Ooh. Well, they got some names on them, boy. Hold on. Okay. Adrenia. All right, we're just gonna have to roll with that one. So that is to say, a chaste or pure and immaculate virgin, suckling an infant, which some nations call Jesus, but which we in Greek call Christ. Right? Was that Wani, peace, that we call Christ. Quote, the whole scene of the life of Jesus is to be found in adjacent part of the heavens, right? The stable in the constellation of the criteria or the goat, right? Capricorn, or by rectifying the celestial globe to 12 at midnight between the 24th and 25th of December, the constellation of a stable Agnes will be found in which Christ is born, right? Christ, who is Christ, right? The Son. I appreciate it, right? The Son is born. Right? Hey, appreciate that, Adrian. So in the constellation, Christ is born. Remember who Christ is, right? The Son is born. While the constellation of the Virgin, who brings him forth, is at that moment at the eastern line of the horizon with the great star, the Veda matrix, in her elbow. At no great distance is the ass of Typhon, the great she-bear, in the Oz, or the ox, or the bull, right? The ancient attendants of the manger, okay? Peter, the porter, is Junus or Janus with his keys and bald forehead. The 12 apostles are the genie of the 12 months. The genie, right? Genie, Genii, right? Genie. What's another word for genie? Jinn. The 12 apostles are the jinn or genie of the 12 months. The signs of the zodiac. The Hindu mythos name the son born Chris or Christin or Krishna, and the Christians or Christos, right? At the other times, as we have seen, he was called Geezis or Jesus. The Virgo partita is represented with the spike of corn in her hand, right? America, huh? Hence called Spica Virginis in Bethlehem, all right? America, right? Whoo. America. So in shall see, it is taken from the most ancient prophetic word as it has written in the natural heavens before it descended in actuality in the natural earth, right? The natural earth. If our mount, damn, come on, man, I got this damn banner in my way. Move that shit out the way, man. Hold on, y'all gotta wait till this banner move. Okay, here we go. So if for Mount Caucasus, right? Mount Caucasus. Remember, Caucasus is also an American Indian word. Remember we was learning American Indian words that is in English language. Caucasus is also an Algonquin word. Also with Geezis. We're going to connect these dots here, right? So if for Mount Caucasus, we say Mount Calvary, and for those who mock, spit upon, and scourge him, the human vultures, and see in the 30,000 years a perfect period of time as fully represented in the 3 hours from the 6th, twice 3, to the 9th, 3 times 3. The additional ciphers in their representative value like decimals, not increasing the extent, but fixing the relative signification. We shall see the history of the Lord upon the earth, right? Remember, Lord, the Son. The Son is the Lord's Son, right? So as we see the history of the Son upon the earth, yep, 369 facts, who endured these things as they were foreseen and forewritten for him is the scriptures. Thus it behooved him to fulfill them. And for it was the language in scriptures or writing of the heavens ultimated and fulfilled on the earth when the first became the last. And for in the last, all things of the first were present, as, quote, the Father is the Son, unquote. Remember the Thoth video. The Father is the Son. Remember that. The Father is the Son. So, honestly, Thoth is in the sky, shining bright on you. Thought. Right? They both are the same. SUN, SON is the same. It's the same. As above, so below. As within, so without. Right? Thought. Right? So the Father is the Son, unquote. Or as we said before, quote, all that precedes is in that which succeeds. Right? The Father is the Son is also meaning all that precedes is in that which succeeds, unquote. All right. The prophecies alluded to the Lord's coming into the world, right? The Son coming into the world in the language of correspondence. And many of these prophecies were literally fulfilled in outward nature as well as the state and action of men in the process of their regeneration. Okay? Regeneration. All right? Regeneration. Let's drop down to the footnote real quick. He who looks at things internal from things external, when he views the heavens or skies, does not think at all of the starry heavens, but of the angelic heavens. When he beholds the sun, he does not think of the Son, but of the Lord as being the Son of heaven. The reason is all and single things in the heaven or sky and on earth are representatives is because they existed and do continue to exist. That is subside from the influx of the Lord through the heavens. All right. Big game. All right. See, that's for part 2. Hold on. I think that's for part 2 too. Hold on. I'm trying to get somewhere so I can get to the next book real quick. I gotta start putting stuff in order. Y'all good? Y'all straight, man? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for the likes, the love, the gifts. I gotta check in on y'all. All right. What's this? Okay, so this is the okay. So yeah, we here now. We here now. So we jump into this book real quick. All right. Y'all want to screenshot this? Y'all can. We jump into this book. Peace, peace. We got 99 people in here. You get 99 reposts jumping, 99 shares, 99 gifts. I really do appreciate it. Facts, facts. You see, it's a scientific fact that the sun is spring that drives everything raw. You gotta go a little bit deeper than that, man. We way past that. Is that why they symbolize a thought with a light bulb? Yep. Yep. That's exactly why a thought. Remember, thought, thoth. Some people say thoth. Some people say thought, like a thought, right? So yeah, a thought or thoth symbolizes with the light bulb, right? The light bringer, the light bearer, bright idea, I, right? Hey, appreciate that, fam. Appreciate that, Adrian. Adrian in the building. Peace, peace. All right. So just go here real quick. This is called A New Light from the Great Pyramid. The astronomical geographical system of the ancients recovered and applied to the elucidations of history, ceremony, symbolism, and religion with an exposition of the evolution from the prehistoric objective scientific religion of Adam and Kadmon, the microcosm of the historic subjective spiritual religion of Christ Jesus, the microcosm. Boy, they be having some long ass names, boy. That was a whole paragraph in itself. Shit. y'all should see what Google be looking like when I be putting these names in and going to archives. I'm like, shit, man. Man. But this was written by Albert Ross Parson. All right, I'm gonna leave this up here for a second so y'all get y'all screenshot. Shout out to all the new people in here. If y'all new to the page and y'all loving the live, make sure y'all hit that follow button so y'all can be notified every time I go live. We drop gems all day, every day, connecting new dots to one big picture. And it got a lot to do with Black Americans in America at the end of the day. Excuse me. You'll start to understand why these devils treat the children of the sun the way that they treat them. And once you understand that, y'all can stop asking, why are they doing this to us? Y'all can stop asking that. Why are they doing this to us? They treat us like we enslaved them. Stop asking that question. Stop asking the devil why he's doing devilish shit. I'm just being real. Stop asking why the devil is being the devil. That should never cross your mind. Stop asking why the devil is being the devil. He doing his job. They doing their job. We ain't doing ours. That's the problem. Right? We got a caller on the line. Hold on, y'all. What's happening?
Oh shit. Not me to join this.
Okay. I got y'all. What's happening? Fifth Ward, peace, peace. They got everybody doing black magic and worshiping demons. Well, black magic ain't really. We gotta watch that term. Black magic is actually so. Remember, everything is inverted on you. They're doing white magic, and they got you doing white magic when you're supposed to actually be doing so-called black magic. And the only reason why I say that, is because when you research black magic, it's all your spiritual beliefs. Hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, Gnosticism, Hermetics, alchemy, all that is considered black magic, which is our stuff. What they doing is white magic, right? Because they're operating with false light, right? Light is what blinds you, and they're blinding everybody, right? Because their light appearing false. God actually lives in darkness. God, magic, everything that you're looking for is actually in the darkness that you're scared of. That's why they made you afraid of the dark. That's why they made you afraid of the dark. So, peace. But I know what you mean, though. I get what you're saying. I just wanted to kind of clear that up for everybody that's watching. What's happening, Tommy? Peace. Peace. Dark room meditation. Thank me later. Yeah. Sometimes that shadow in the corner of your house ain't nobody but you. That's how crazy shit is. I ain't saying that's what it is 100% of the times, but there's also all type of polarity. Sometimes it do be other entities. Sometimes it just be you, your shadow self. And you be scared of yourself. Like real shit. It just be you. You know. That shadow self is everything that you scared of. All your fears. You know, you scared of failing, scared of society. You know what I'm saying? All your obsessions, your ego, your arrogance, all of that creates a devil, a demon. That's why when you look in the mirror, the only God that you see is yourself. And the only devil that you see is yourself. Right? We can talk about the government and what these people doing to us all day, but like I told you in plenty lives, it's a choice. They're not really forcing you to do this. You choosing to do this. Whether out of ignorance or whether your lower self is just addicted to living this physical matrix realm. Everything is a choice. You got free will. Now, what you do with that free will is up on you, and the consequences is on you. So if you exercise your free will to not do shit, don't get mad when you get enslaved. Or if you exercise your free will and to do what you're supposed to do as children of the sun and for the earth, then you'll get good results. You know what I'm saying? But it's all a choice. And right now, our people is choosing to live in fear. You know, they just choosing to live in fear. Ain't no way in hell the 1% should be controlling 99%. That's crazy as hell. that's crazy as hell. Right? But let's keep going though. So Kanye was right. Yeah, Kanye was right in most of the stuff he said. He was right in most of the stuff he said. That's why he named his album. He put it in the face. He named his album what? We just got done reading what? The different variations of what? Geezis. He named his album what? Geezis. And people who wasn't well versed in knowledge was like, oh, that's blasphemy. He disrespecting Christ and Jesus. Whole time, Geezis is actually just another name for Jesus, which just means the son. He was just telling you that he's the son or the child of the son. That's all. Kanye, a lot of these artists are smarter than what people think. They just, a lot of them have to play dumb to get that check. But most of them is way smarter than what you think. Some of them is 5%ers and shit. Like a lot of them already know this information. Some of them Masons, some of them 5%ers. You know what I'm saying? Some of them is into this type of shit, right? Some of them study the Kabbalah, all that, you know. So they know this shit. They just got to play dumb for you. But a lot of them will put it inside their music, though. A lot of them will put it inside their music. Like that quote I just told you, you look in the mirror, the only God you see is yourself. You look back in the mirror, the only devil that you see is yourself. Well, I got that shit from Kevin Gates. They put it in their songs all the time. I got that shit from Kevin Gates. That shit ain't nowhere near in the Bible. That shit ain't no scripture or nothing. That came straight from Gates. That's from one of his songs. He put a whole lot of gems in his songs. A lot of people don't really listen to those songs. A lot of people listen to the low vibrational shit that he put out. But he got some he got some songs where he be dropping that shit. You know what I'm saying? Those be the songs I listen to. You know, because I know that when it comes to these artists, I know that they do polarity a lot. Right? They gotta make the low vibrational shit to get, you know what I'm saying, to get the check. They also make high vibrational shit because, you know, it's in them, right? They're chained. They're chained gods. So a lot of them will drop hints and tell you some shit inside their music. It's be kind of like a little warning to other folks. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't feel no type of way when these young artists sign 360 deals and they find out that they getting fucked in the deal, and I don't feel no way, because hella artists before you told you don't sign a deal. But you still signed a deal, right? Your choice. So you chose that. Don't get mad at the consequences of what you chose. You chose not to read the contract, and you chose to join that shit, right? It was all a choice. Ain't nobody forced you to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people choose the record label because they too scared to step out on faith and do this shit their own way. Right? That's why Master P told you, if this label is willing to give me $1 million, I know I'm at least worth 10 mil. That's why Master P said that. And what? He took a chance on himself. You got Master, you feel me? So you got a few artists who be squeezing through the cracks who didn't sell out. You know what I'm saying? And they keep doing their independent shit. You know, but a lot of them will put some real shit inside their music. I'm just gonna keep it real. You just gotta search for the real. You just gotta search for the real. All right. Yeah, they definitely put it. Yep. And I've been fucking with Gates since like 2008. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I've been fucking with Kevin Gates since 2008 when he had locks and shit. And he was a local rapper in Baton Rouge. The shit that people hear today is shit that he always rapped about. He always rapped this shit since back in 2008. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just new to him. He always talked about spiritual shit. He always talked about Islam, Muslim shit. That ain't no new shit. He just got to check out a lot of his old music before the record deal. And you got to check out a lot of these people music before the record deal. And you'll find out that a lot of them was teaching some real shit. What's happening, King Wash? Peace. Raw in the building. What's happening, y'all? So let's go ahead and dive into this real quick and we'll dialogue a little bit more. Right? Remember, we talking about Geezis. The Ojibwe word, Geezis, meaning sun. All right? We go into this chapter called Sagittarius. Right? We in this chapter called Sagittarius. We're going to start right here where it says what? The sun was Geezis. Remember, Geezis is an Ojibwe American Indian word for the sun. And Geezis, yes, sounds like Jesus. And Yeezus, right? Just like we read, right? All right. Let's keep going. Right? Let's keep going. So, inside the hieroglyphs, right here, the hieroglyphs of the Mayas of Yucatan are placed in the parallel columns with Egypt hieroglyphs, right? The Mayan hieroglyphs is put in the parallel with the Egyptian hieroglyphs. And thus the inscriptions of the ancient pyramid builders of Central America are shown to be the works of the subsequent builders of the Nile, meaning that the Mayas and the Egyptians are the same people. That's what that meant right there. Y'all can screenshot that. That's exactly what it meant. They said when they put the hieroglyphs of the Mayans right next to the Egyptians, it's the same shit. That's how they know that the Mayans and the Egyptians are the same people, the builders of the Nile. But the question is, what now? We ain't talking about Africa, baby. America's the real old world. the builders of the Nile, the Mississippians. Remember, the Mississippians descend from the Mayas and the Olmecs. Remember who Mama is Maya, Buddha, Guatemala. Remember who Buddha is? Thoth. So when they say that you a child of the sun, it's deep. Because the Egyptians are also children of the sun, Nagas. Same people. Same people. The same people. They are the builders upon the Nile being the Mississippi, the Mississippian mound builders. This is why I tell y'all that the pyramid builders are the mound builders. They're the same ones, or the descendants. The mound builders are the descendants of the pyramid builders, should I say. What's happening, y'all? Yanni? Peace. Right? So, the great earthworks of the ancient races, right? The great earthworks of the ancient races of the Ohio Valley were examined by the late Sir Daniel Wilson, who described them as characterized by the perplexing element of elaborate geometric figures executed on the gigantic scale, giving proof of skill fully equaling that of scientific land surveyors. The groups of symmetrical enclosures, square, circular, elliptical, octagonal, connected by long parallel avenues, suggest analogies even with the temples and sphinx avenues of the Egyptian Karnak and the Luxor. It's crazy because Las Vegas got a Luxor. Memphis do too. You think the old Middle East is Middle West of America? Yeah. You right. The old Middle East is the mid region of America. You would definitely be right. All the deserts, all that over there, you know, we had American camels. The camels would be over there in the desert area, and not just the desert area, but they would be like in, you know, St. Louis, Chicago. They used to roam Arizona, Las Vegas, Utah, all that. Yucatan. Yeah, facts. First Bass. Yucatan. What's happening, 4D? Peace. Yep, the Luxor Hotel, right? All right. So this first paragraph is telling you literally the Mayans and the Egyptians are the same people, and they got all these connections. But all this stuff was built in the ancient Ohio Valley, not in Africa. Not in Africa, though. We are in America, right? Geezis, an American Indian word. We in America, right? Ohio Valley. All right. All right. They were sun worshipers. Dodge the hijack. We didn't worship the sun. We honored the sun because it gave life. It's a difference, right? We respected the sun, right? So they were sun worshipers, though, and maintained the perpetual fire. Now the Ohio Valley was the ancient seat of the Creek Indians. Shout out to all my Creek Indians. Do we got any Creek Indians in here? We got 96 people in here. Just get 96 reposts. We got any Creek Indian descendants in here? Where all my Creeks at? I want to see where all my Creeks at. Because this part of the book is for y'all. And part, you know, me too. I got a little Creek in there if you want to include the Geechee. You feel me? Right? But this is for all the Creek right here. Peep game, listen. Roll it if you got it. Pour it if you got it. High Learning Book Club. Y'all know how we get down. All right. So we got one Creek representative in here. What's happening? Or peace. Appalachia, Creek Indian representing. We gonna talk about your people too, or we about to talk about your people real soon. Okay, we got some Creek descendants in here. All right. All right, let's get it in. So, here we go. So now the Ohio Valley was the ancient seat of the Creek Indians. All right. The ancient seat of the Creek Indians, who are supposed to represent the powerful Telugu or the Telugu nation or the Telagawi nation. All right. The ancient seat of the Creek Indians, who are supposed to represent the powerful Telugu or the Telagawi nation, whose name survives in the Allegheny Mountains. The Allegheny Mountains. Remember where the Berbers come from? The Allegheny Mountains. All right. In the Greeks of Homer, right, said Count Volney, quote, I found the customs, discourses, and manners of the Iroquois, Delaware, and the Miamis, right? The tragedies of the Sophocles in the Euphrates paint to me almost literally the sentiments of the red man respecting necessity, fatality, the misery of human life in the reign of blind dynasty or destiny. Recently, in translating the New Testament into the language of the Creek Indians, the construction of the Creek Indian language was remarkably like the Greek. America's the real old world. What did they just say? They said translating the New Testament into the language of the Creek Indians. The construction of the Creek language was found remarkably like the Greek. Only thing difference between the Greek and the Creek is the C and the G. It was found remarkably like the Greek. American students of the classics may yet find that we are more to Hecuba and Hecuba to us than has been dreamed of in our philosophies, right? Compare the following specimen vocabulary. So they comparing Creek Indian vocabularies with the Greek, all right? They about to give you an example what they mean. They about to compare the Creek Indians to the Greek, all right? Listen closely. So compare the following specimen vocabularies. For the Greek Apollo, right? Remember Apollo meaning the sun, right? The sun, Apollo, remember that. Greek Apollo, we have the Creek or Indian Appalachian Mountains, or you call the Appalachian Mountains, but Apollo, Greek Apollo, American Indian Apollo. It's crazy because some of us like driving Impalas. I definitely had me an Impala a couple of times, right? So in Greek is Apollo, in Creek is Apala or Appalachian Mountains. Appalachian Mountains. The mountain of the sun. Sun Mountain, maybe. Let's keep going. For the Greek Mount Olympus, the Creek Indians have Mount Alami. So for the Greek Mount Olympus, we have Mount Alami. For Potomac, we have the Potomac River. Right? For the Potomac, we have the Potomac River. For Tallahassee, right? For Tallahassee, we have Tallahassee. For the Greek Tallahassee, we have Tallahassee. And these are just some vocabulary examples of how Greek and Creek are related. And not just Creek, but Indians in general of the Algonquin nation. But we also know historically that these Creek Indians are also descendants of the Mayas, right? We already know that, right? Shout out to Lou. Facts. Sun Mountain, right? But we also know that these Creeks are descendants of the Mayas. So if the Mayas was in Rome in Greek dropping gems, and these Mayans could be mislabeled as Greeks entering Egypt, since the Mayans and the Egyptians are the same people. In turn, the Mayans and the Egyptians might be the same people when you talk about ancient Greek and Romans, right? Phoenicians, Carthaginians, Etruscans, right? I read majority of the southeastern tribes branched off from the Mississippians. We are Mississippians. All southeastern tribes are Mississippians. We create the Mississippians. When we all come together, we create the Mississippians, the mound builders. So the mound builders are still here. We just scattered. Right? So Greek and Creek got a lot of vocabulary connections, and those are just a few, right? So of the incarnated Son of righteousness, it was commanded, thou shalt call his name Jesus, right? This is what they said in Greek and in the New Testament, right? Thou shalt call his name Jesus, all right? And among the Algonquin Indians, the name of the son was Geezis. In Greek, in Rome, the New Testament. Remember who wrote the New Testament now, right? Remember where they got the Old Testament. Remember what they did. Well, I'm getting tongue tied. Remember who wrote the New Testament, and remember what they did to get the New Testament. They took the Old Testament and just remixed that shit and made new characters, right? While they was writing themselves inside the story. So they still kept some truth in there, even with certain names that they use. But the character playing the name is not the real thing, right? So Jesus or Geezis is an actual name, meaning the son. But Caesar Borgia and Serapis, Zeus, they're not, well, I'm gonna take Zeus back because Zeus get a little deep, but Serapis and all of that, nah, that ain't it. Caesar Borgia, nah, that ain't it. It's a false light. Artificial sun. Remember, they was trying to create an artificial sun. Inside the history of the Bible books, they created an artificial sun, and they got you worshiping them. All right. Big game. All right. So, inside Greek, Roman, New Testament Bible, they say, thou shalt call his name Jesus. And among the Algonquin Indians, the name of the son in Algonquin language, or Ojibwe, which is related to Algonquin, is Geezis. So they would look up in the sky, and what we say sun, they would say Geezis. Right? That's what they did. They looked in the sky and like, what's that? Geezis. Geezis. That's the sun, literally. Right? Right? All right, Geezis. The artificial sun. Yep. The false light. Facts. So where did they get this name from? I think they got the name for the sun from us. Especially if we know that the Mayans was in Rome. Especially if we know that the Atlanteans are Algonquins. And they was in Rome. Remember we read that. We read that in plenty books, right? The American discovery of Europe, Mayans in Rome, Algonquin conquest of the Mediterranean region, Shadow of Atlantis, Lost Histories of America. I can keep naming books. We read it. Plenty Indians was in Rome and Greek at that time. Specifically Algonquin nation, which we know is a confederation of a lot of nations, right? So a lot of nations, which make the Algonquins, was over there. PK. Who taught them? It's not out of America. It's not out of Africa. It's out of America. Remember that. Not saying that everybody around the world come from America, but those that are of Shemitic lineage come from America. If that helps you understand that. Those of Semitic or Shemitic lineage come from America, aka Asiatics, as they call us. Right? So who would that encompass? We just named them, right? The original Persians, not them Arabs pretending, right? But original Persians, the Chaldeans, the Egyptians, American Indians, right? Ethiopians. Talking about the original Ethiopians, right? Because it's a difference. Some of these Ethiopians today, not all on some of them Arabs. They're not really Ethiopians. You catch the right Ethiopian, they'll tell you that they're Arabs. And they'll tell you about their whole migration from the Middle East and everything, how they ended up there. And it's a book that backed that shit up. Right? There's 3 Ethiopias and 3 Indias. They are one of the ancient Ethiopians. Right? Who are connected to the ancient Arabs. You know what I'm saying? So P gang. Now there's 2 more Ethiopians. Another Ethiopia was South America. That's your second one. Okay? Now the third one, I'm gonna let y'all find that. And then you got 3 Indias as well too. Right? But we'll get there though. We'll get there. I don't want to jump ahead. So, excuse me. So the Algonquin Indians has a name of the sun called Geezis. All right? Flipping the page. Right? And Krishna, right? Krishna, the son of the Hindus. Remember, Buddha and Krishna is the son as well, right? Krishna, the son of the Hindus. But peep this, appears among the Blackfoot Indians. So not only do the Creek Indians have Geezis and Jesus relations, but the Blackfoot Indians also have a Krishna, the sun, just like the Hindus. Huh? And here's what we mean, right? Christ K, right? Christ K. Here we go, Christ, right? Krishna, Christos, Christ. Christ K, meaning the sun, son of righteous. Fire King Moloch. Fire King Moloch. Right? Moloch, huh? Fire King Moloch. Kriske, the sun. Kriske Quant, the light or light of the world. Kriske Want. Kriske, the day, a day star of the light. Kreskam, great spirit. Right? Christum, the great spirit. Christdom, evil spirit. Right? Christ. Krishna, Christos, the sun. Right? You said you from Africa. Who told you I was from Africa? You talked to my grandmama? That's crazy. That nigga said you from Africa. I ain't your brother. I ain't got no brothers. My panel is open though. You can prove how I'm African.
What's up?
How am I African? What's happening?
Nigga, just look at you. What the
You
fuck?
said, just look at me.
Yeah, brother.
So you saying I'm African because I look African?
Yeah, bro. It's African Americans and shit, yo. Shit, they
And
call it African American.
and what are you?
Shit, I'm indigenous American.
Boy, you white as fuck. You pale as hell. If I look
Yeah,
African,
I'm a mixed race, but I'm mixed with Spanish and indigenous.
nah. If I'm African, then you are Caucasian because you're
Bro,
pale
you don't gotta
skinned.
mute my mic, bro.
You are Caucasian. You are pale skinned like a Caucasian with straight hair like a Caucasian. You are from the Caucasus Mountains. If we going off of looks, there we go. You see how easy it is. you see how easy it is. These folks be crazy. They don't like that when you play their game. You look African. Okay, if we playing your game, then you're Caucasian. Your skin is pale, your hair is straight, you more likely is susceptible to lice, and you probably smell like a wet dog when it rains. You're Caucasian. And you probably hairy too, so you probably got that rhesus monkey wild man DNA going on. Nigga, you ain't indigenous. You indigenous to Caucasus Mountains, but you ain't indigenous to Americans. Americans ain't pale skinned with straight hair, and we damn sure don't get lice. So you definitely not American. Oh man. Oh man. You definitely not American, boy. You was from the Caucasus Mountains. Who goddamn white baby is that? Oh man, shout out to everybody that's in here, bro. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. So man, that's that gas. Greetings, lovely, love lady, peace. He called himself doing taper fades on his profile. See, niggas can't even do their own culture. Peace, melanated sun, peace. Niggas can't do their own culture. Knowing damn well they don't do no taper fades until we start doing that. You indigenous, but you gotta imitate Black Americans though. You indigenous, but you gotta imitate Black Americans. That's because y'all know that we the real indigenous. Y'all ethnocide yourselves to act like Black Americans. Y'all copy the swag, copy the style, y'all copy the mannerisms, y'all copy the vocabulary, the word tone, the ebonics, y'all copy the culture, the rap, y'all copy everything. Y'all niggas don't like being yourselves. The biggest identity crisis that everybody got is everybody trying to be us. Stop embarrassing yourselves. It's okay to be African, go be Africa. If you come over here as an African, I expect to see some African shit. Real shit. At least that's what I be thinking. When I step outside and they be like, bro, we got immigrants and foreigners here. I want to see some foreign shit. If you African, I want to see you African. Nigga, I want to see you. All right, wow. Oh, wow. I want to see that shit, man. Don't ethnocide yourself and be who you are when you come to America. This is the land of the free. So you can be who you are, nigga. Don't be wearing Nike, Tech, and Jordans and shit. That ain't you. That ain't you. All the Hispanics out here, the racist motherfuckers out here, be y'all, man. Be y'all. Y'all don't, come on, rap. Hydraulics and shit, man, be y'all, bro. The taper phase, gangbang, man, be y'all, man. Put on the salsa hats and get the salsa in and, you know, man, give me some, I want some organic Mexican shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta stop ethnociding yourselves when y'all come to America. Just be who y'all are. Y'all be the main people ethnocide in y'all whole identity just to act American. Black American, to be exactly. Y'all get rid of y'all whole culture when y'all come here. You know what I'm saying? Just to adopt the swag. Come on, man. Black Americans ain't got no identity crisis. We've been us since the beginning. All we know how to do is be us. We don't pretend to be Africans. We don't pretend to be Asians. We don't pretend to be Native Americans. We don't pretend to be white people. We is us all day, every day. That's why y'all actually hate us, because we is us. You feel me? Let's keep it going though. All right? Let's keep it going. Shout out to everybody that's in here, right? So the Blackfoot Indians have a Christ, or the Krishna, just like the Hindus, and it also means the sun. Krishna, Christo, Christ, Christ, Christ K, Christ, right? Christdom, Christ, right? Son, Great Spirit, right? What's the connections here though? Why is these languages connecting like this? Why they never taught us languages like this? Why is all these languages connecting? Could they be the same people? Could these be Nagas in different places? There were 12 tribes of Nagas. A lot of people don't know that. Your 12 tribes of Israel comes from 12 tribes of Nagas. Your 12 tribes come from 12 Nagas. Really 13. Really 13 tribe of Nagas. But you know, we ain't gonna go that far. All right. So again, the Greeks tell us of Ornos, the heaven, whence Urana, right? Urana, right? Urana, Oranos, Urana, Greeks. The Indians call the blue heaven Oranya, Oranya. Greeks, Oranos, the Indians, Oranya. There go the similarities again. Right? Plato tells us that the priest of Atlantis, right? Atlanteans are Algonquins. The priest of Atlantis is America. Remember, Atlantis is America. For those who don't know, Atlantis is America. When you see Atlantis, substitute it with America. Because Atlanteans are Algonquins, Americans, right? So just substitute that. So when they talk about Atlantis, they talking about America. All right. So the priest of America always wore a blue mantle when administrating justice or offering sacrifices. You know who else wear blue? Sephardic Jews. You know who else wore blue? Israelites. And a lot of other people wore blue. Egyptians, Mayan blue, right? But who wore blue during offering and sacrifices, right? Sephardic Jews, Sephardites, Israelites. What's that in his eye? Peace, peace. Right? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. Crip. Hey, Cub, right? Crips. Why do Crips wear blue? Right? Remember what we just said? The Atlanteans wear blue when administering justice. Crip, community resistance in progress. They wear blue. Ain't nothing new under the sun. All they did was just demonize your shit. That's all they did. They just demonized your shit. I'm telling you some real shit. Right? Blue and red always stood for Sephardics and Moors. Moors, red, green. Sephardics, blue, white, blue, gray, blue, black. Okay. Y'all don't start gang banging in my comments. Don't start gang banging in my. I ain't no crib, but you know what I'm saying. But shout out to the crib homeboys though. Y'all, y'all start putting wheelchairs and shit in the comments. Oh shit. Nah, I'm on that red side. But shout out to I got a lot of cousins who's Crips and GDs though, man. It's all love. But P Gay, I'm retired. But the Atlanteans always wore blue though. The Atlanteans always wore blue when administering justice or offering sacrifices. They assembled the people every 5th and 6th year in honor of deity. 565 are the numbers of the sacred name of Jehovah or Yahweh. Hawa. I am, right? The sun. 565. I wonder why 565 is significant. All right. Professor Whitney says, quote, there are infinite possibilities of expression in the American language. Right? There is an infinite possibilities of expression in the American language. Right? And it will only need that some American Greek race should arise to fill it full of thought and fancy. What did he say? It will only need that of some Native American or American Indian Greek race. An American Indian Greek race, who would that be? The Creeks? Should arise to fill it full of thought and fancy and put it to the uses of a noble literature. And it will be rightfully admired as rich and flexible, perhaps beyond anything else that the world knew. The life and growth of languages. The Aborigines of America belong to the red race. Now, what's saying in Swarthy, peace. The Aborigines of America belong to the red race. Now, the most ancient divisions of the human race describe man as red, white, and black. And crayon colors, huh? During the sway of the Ethiop, right? Ethiop, whose name is derived from Ethi or fire, and oak means serpent. So what did Ethiop or Ethiopian really mean in the beginning? Before they turned it to blackface or burnt faces? It's right here. This is how you used to spell Ethiop. Right? Eighth, fire. Opis, right? Serpent. Who's these Ethiopians that are Nagas? Fire serpent, right? America is what? The plum serpent, right? We are water serpents or feathered serpents. Ethiopians are fire serpents, right? Well, I tell you, there's 12 or 13 tribes of Nagas. Right? All right. So Ethiop or Ethi, right? Fire. Opis or Opis, right? Serpent, fire serpent. Red or funk was a royal color, right? Red or Phonique, like Phoenician, Phoenician, red or Phoenician was a royal color. And red blood, no, I'm just fucking with y'all. But red blood, not the blue bloods, right? Red blood, not blue blood, as now was said to flow in the aristocratic veins. These early Edie, as now was said to flow in aristocratic veins. These early Edie or Eth worshippers or fire worshippers, said Major General Forlong of the British armies in India, were the true Mortis or Murtis. Mers, Moors, Americans. What they say? What did they say? The Ethi. We were talking about the Ethiop, the fire serpent tribe, the Ethi worshippers, fire worshippers, are the true Mortis, Mortis, Moors, Americans, Miracapana, Mers, Moors. The Moors always kept the name of America with them. I'm going to keep saying it. If you want to know where the Moors come from, it's in their name. They always kept a portion of the name America, Amorica, Amartica, Amaruca in their name for their children and future descendants. If you ever want to know where we come from, it's in your name. You'll never forget your name. All right. So this fire serpent tribe was the Moors. Hence why I just told you the Moors wear red. Sephardic Jews wear blue, Moors wore red. All right. Or the Moroops, right? Mortis, Moroops. And the first of the Tartars and Mongols, right? In their land were developed the Iranians and the Scyths. Humboldt saw the red race in the red picture writings of Mexico and the Etruscans, who all comes from America. Who is these people coming from America? These are the original red races that got hijacked in history. The Etruscans are whitewashed. The original Mexicans are trying to be whitewashed. The Aryans are whitewashed. The Tartars, the Mongols, they are all whitewashed, but all these were Moors in the beginning. Moors is of the red race. They're Shamites, not Hamites. People think that Moors are Hamites because the Bible and all these scriptures have been rewritten and they rearrange people's family trees. All right, let's keep going though. So in their land were developed the Aryans and the Scyths. Humboldt saw the red race in the red picture writings of Mexico and the Etruscan reliefs of the Tartacani, right? The Tartacani and the Nubar. Saw the Ethiopians, right? The Ethiopians, the fire serpent, or the people of Moru, right? These Ethiopians, this fire serpent tribe, are people of Moru. Moru, they are known as Morus. In the red Egyptian paintings of the Theban kings, in the copper-colored figure, right? Copper-colored figure. Remember, it is out of America is which civilization came. Peace, peace, Dark Mother, right? It is out of America in which civilization came. Now, who spread that civilization? The only people who's been reclassified and renamed 12 times in history. The only group of people who had their history covered and hidden. Excuse me. Real shit. Think about it. If y'all haven't just thought about it for the new people, just think about it. Think about everybody around the world. You the only one that had your history hidden. That ain't a dead giveaway. I don't know what is. You the only one. Mexicans still be doing Mexican shit. Spaniards and Spanish still be doing Spanish and Spaniard shit, right? Which technically all that shit come from us or our other people on that side. But we ain't about to get into all that right now, right? Other people just still be doing that shit, right? White people still stealing people culture as usual. Ain't shit changed. Africans still doing African shit. Asians still doing Asian shit. Europeans still doing European shit. Everybody still doing their shit. And when you get to the Black Americans, it's like, damn. Your whole shit just been hidden. You just been written out of history. Why was you written out of history? Shit, I'm reading it to you. I'm reading it to you. Because your ancestors come from a great lineage. You come from a great lineage. A lineage so powerful and strong that people is trying to destiny swap right now with you because their time is up. Saying we made our culture during slavery is blasphemy. Yes. Yes, that is very blasphemy. That is very blasphemy. And it irritates my soul when people do that. Everybody always want to equate slavery is the reason why our culture the way it is. Well, when y'all start making music? Well, it was a time in slavery. How did y'all play basketball so good? Well, you know, a time in slavery in the cotton fields. How you guys so fast? Well, you know, slavery. You be like, God damn. How y'all made moonshine and good hooch? Well, you know, slavery. Where soul food come from? Well, you know, in slavery, they threw the scraps out the door and we made what we can make. How the fuck do you make fried chicken out of scraps and it's the wing and the leg? How you make mac and cheese out of scrap? How you made cornbread out of scraps that niggas didn't want? That don't even make sense. How you make gumbo out of the shit that motherfuckers didn't want? That don't even make sense, bro. I don't think niggas know what scraps is. It's the fat part of the meat, the bone. You know, the shit that niggas don't want. You know, you ain't turning that into soul food. The fried pork chops and shit like that. Neck bone, collard green, dressing, rice, rolls. Y'all know how we get down. Niggas is eating rabbit and gator and quail and turkey. Like, come on, bro. That ain't like, nigga gotta stop doing that shit. And that shit hurt my nerves that every time nigga just want to equate shit to slavery. You be like, come on, bro. Come on. All this shit didn't happen in slavery. So you telling me that we had time to pick cotton from sun up to sundown, get whipped, get dog sicked on us, get treated horribly in slavery and brutal, as y'all say, and still manage to make culture, nigga? Unless we already had culture and they was trying to stop us from doing it. That's the only way that makes sense. But you tell me that we created our whole culture during the whole time we supposed to be getting our ass whooped, beaten, and treated like shit. When we had time to do that? And raise hella kids. Y'all better go talk to y'all grandma. My grandma told me shit. Our food didn't come from slavery. So I don't know what y'all eat, but the shit that my grandma be fixing, that shit ain't slave food. That shit ain't come from slavery. It's Indian food. Believe it or not. That's real life Indian food. It's not African. Africans don't even like our food. They don't even cook our shit. Our food is literally Indian food. It's from the land of America. We're more indigenous than the fucking Native Americans on the reservation. And our culture proves that. They don't eat indigenously. They eat nomadically. Whatever the fuck they can find, they cooking that shit. Nigga might cook you if times get desperate enough. For real. I ain't playing. That shit's on the codex. That's on the Mayan and Olmec codex. The motherfuckers was out there cooking niggas. Real shit. It's 105 people in here. I know somebody seen the codex. Them niggas was cooking motherfuckers back then. That's why we was whooping that. Hey, y'all gotta go, bro. What is y'all doing? For real. This is why you got the Mayans holding them up by their ponytail and shit. What is y'all eating? What the fuck is y'all doing? And notice they all eat the same shit. These niggas eat the same shit as small head eat the same. People eaters, nigga. Like purple people eaters, you know? Ain't that y'all ain't never wondered why they call that football team that? Purple people eaters. Go away. Look, I'm telling you, them niggas doing some diabolical shit. But man, we gotta stop equating shit to slavery though. That's just my whole message of that, bro. We gotta stop equating shit to slavery. Most of us ain't even come from no slaves. Like real shit. Most of us ain't even come from no slaves. But this is why genealogy is important. Because your genealogy will literally tell you that most of your people in your family were landowners. Y'all own the plantation. It was your land, Indian land. Now, some of our people did go through Indian slavery and servitude. I'm not knocking that, but you wasn't an African slave. Some of us were Indian slaves. That's why I say reparation ain't for no FBI, no FBA. Reparations is for the American Indians. The American Indians have never got reparations for the genocide that happened in America. You could pull up the genocide list and reparations paid out. American Indians ain't never been paid for reparations of Indian slavery. Most people don't even know Indian slavery is a thing. They don't even know that. Your average person out here in the streets don't even know Indian slavery is a thing. But they would scream how long the Indian was enslaved and don't even know that they screaming it. The 400 years. 400 years is Indian slavery, and they don't even know that they saying that. African slaves was only enslaved for like 200 years tops, maybe 250, give or take. They weren't even enslaved for 400 years. Niggas, and it wasn't even a lot of Africans. Most of them weren't even Africans. A lot of them was like Caribbeans being called Africans and shit. You know, a lot of them was other Indians being labeled Negro and African just so they can be sold as slavery at a time where slavery was illegal. So this is where race classification started becoming a thing. When they outlawed the slavery of the Indian, some cool, smart motherfucker was like, hey, if I change this nigga identity on paper, I could keep him as a slave. And that's what they did. They changed your status from Indian or indigenous to Negro, which allowed them on paper, loophole, right, to keep enslaving Indians. So a lot of those Negro slaves ain't nothing but Indian slaves. And that is historically documented. Now, you ain't gonna look at a Native American on a reservation and call him a Negro. And I showed y'all the definition of nigger was oftenly applied to Indians, and you ain't gonna look at them and call them niggas either. Right? All right. So, you know, you said driving through Africa town. Woo, shit. Let's keep reading this real quick, and then we gonna dialogue some more. All right, so P-Gang. So, where we at? Boop, 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 boop. The Mortis, Moros, Red Race. Okay. Oh, and notice that they said the red race, right? And they got the Etruscans and the Greeks there. So for those who didn't know, the Etruscans and Greeks are not white people. They was also part of the red race, right, along with American Indians and shit like that. But you know, we'll have a Greek live one day. We'll run it down. So let's keep going though. So his travels in Mexico remarked a granite head buried under gods and goddesses, serpents, and other brute creatures. The very face smiles, the very face smiles of those in Egypt. So he's saying that this head resembled those of Egypt, right? Peep game. And y'all should already know what giant granite head in Mexico that they talking about. All right. And matter of fact, let me just ask real quick. It's 109 people in here. Y'all know the granite head in Mexico that they talking about? Okay. I just want to make sure y'all knew, right? The Olmec. Okay. You was trying to screenshot the Christian run? Okay, I'll go back. I'll let you screenshot it real quick. There you go. Just let me know when you got it. Hold on, y'all. Let me go get some water real quick. we good. Ain't no problem. Negroes, they tear the facts. Yeah, they talking about the Olmec head, right? Facts. So where we at? Boom. So his travels in Mexico remarked a granite head buried under gods and goddesses, serpents, and other brute creatures. Right? The Olmec head is what they talking about. Right? Appreciate the gifts too, y'all. Appreciate the gifts. Y'all the real MVPs, right? So they talking about the Olmec head, right? So the other brute creatures, the very facsimiles of those in Egypt, right? So they saying it resembled those in Egypt, right? What Egypt are they talking about? The head, he adds, might have been dug from the ruins of Thebes, huh? The ruins of Thebes. The early Greek time, the red Thracians was passing through the lands which he long had ruled to settle in further Altria. All right, Altria. Those Etruscan Ethiop affinities. Jove, who's painted red on the high festival days, noble Romans also adorn themselves with red on giant occasions. Adam and the Adamites were thought by Josephus to be the red earth race, right? Peep game, the red earth race, right? Who's these people? Are these all different Atlantean tribes of America that just broken down into different parts of Nagas? That's what it's looking like to me. Say latch, quote, indications of Genesis, unquote. Quote, the color of Esau denotes that he pertains to the Hochlic or red race. This race excels in all the branches of literature and scientific attainment that gives beauty and strength to a nation. The history of the red race shows that they are the most learned of the races preceding the deluge, right? Listen. Among them were the mighty man, the man of war, the judge, the prophets, the prudent, the ancient, the honorable men, the counselors, the eloquent orators. All of those are Moors. And I'm saying Moors because that's the story of Moors, right? When you ask anybody who know, they'll tell you, right? Moors went to Europe and took them out of the Dark Ages, right? What Moors, but we know that these American Indians, red race, Shamites, etc., right? What these Moors or Mortises or Mordrus, right? They went to Europe, right? Deluge, Europe, right? Deluge, Europe, just like we always learn, right? Chaldeans, British Indians, right? Mayans in Rome, right? Okay, right? So, peep game. American Indians and Moors are the same people. They're the same people. So now, if, you know, when you want to know, okay, America's the real old world, who all come from here? Because everybody don't come from here, right? Other people originate in their own land masses, but who come from here, though? Phoenicians, Etruscans, the ancient Greek, the ancient Romans, the ancient Egyptians, because the Egyptians and the Mayans are the same people. A lot of these people the same people, technically. They just call different names. Who else is called by different names? Your creator. Who else is called by different names? Genesis told you, let us make man and women in our likeness and image. Image, likeness is attributes. Okay? So if we are the children of the sun, and our creator, like we just read, go by various different names in all nations, what makes you think the children of the sun, the descendants, don't go by different names? in different nations. Because we do. We do. Historically, Sephardic, Moor, Indian, Etruscan, Greek, Creek, Roman, Chaldees, Mauritanians, Murs, Moors, right? Tartarians, Marzans in Germany, all the same. Egyptians, Gypsies, these are literally the same people from America. So it ain't a lot of different people like people think. It's only one group of people from America that's just being called different things. And people think it's a lot of different people, just like a lot of people think it's a lot of different gods. There's only one. Just going by different names. Bacchus, Prometheus, Geezis, Jesus, Yahweh, Hawa, Buddha, Krishna, Christos, Christ. It's same Thoth, same God going by different name, the Son. Same thing with the children. And even still to this day, you go by many different names. You got reclassified 12 different names. Indian, Negro, colored, black, Afro-American, African-American, Black American, Black people, FBA, Shada, Chickasaw, Yamasee, Seminole, Itza Creek, Uchee Creek, Miami. Like, nigga keep going there. Mound Builders, Mississippians, Algonquins. Nigga going by a lot of different names. We all just American. Same thing with you right now. Your mama got a nickname that's different from what your daddy call you. Your daddy nickname is different from what your siblings call you. Your siblings got a nickname for you that's different than what the streets call you. Your homeboys and homegirls call you something different than what your family call you. And you yourself got a couple of names that you rather refer to yourself when you just out and about. We got our own little nicknames. Peep game. You still go by many names. Police pull you over. Some of y'all brothers think gave that nigga a fake name. I know y'all did. It's 94 people in here. I know. I did it one time. Hey, what's your name? Sean. Whole time nigga named Carlos. All right, Sean, go figure you. We be quick to do that shit, bro. I'm telling you. Come on, man. You are literally a reflection of your creator. You are literally a reflection of your creator. Through and through. Ladies, whenever a guy step to you in the club, you ain't feeling, you'll give him a fake name and number in a heartbeat. 10 guys try to holler at one woman and they got 20 different names for one woman that they just, for real, y'all know how we do. Think about it, ladies do it all the time. 10 guys can holler at a woman in the club. She can give them niggas 10 different names that ain't nowhere near her name. Everybody done talk to one girl though, trying to holler at one girl, but they all got 10 different names for this one girl. And neither one of those names is the name of that girl. Same thing with history, how they cover up the gods, right? What's that in the emo tip? They gave you all these different names just to cover up the name. Right? Big gang. They just used your shit against you. It's like, okay, so since y'all ain't want to tell us the truth in the beginning and y'all hid the name, but we figured it out, okay. All right, we gonna put a little twist on this and re-hide the guy, but from y'all this time. And that's all they did. It said, without that ID, I'm anybody, man. Look, I'm telling you. Without that ID, boy, I'd be John, Joe, Jacob, Heimer, Smith. I'm telling you, look. I be picking all type of names. Boop, boop, what's your name? Jebediah. Fucking the police all the way up. For real, I'll put the police head all the way up. What's your name, son? I ain't got my ID on you. What's your name? I go type it in. Jebediah. Excuse me? Jebediah Benjamin Dooley. You Amish? Amish-ish. You know what I'm saying? Look. That nigga might let your ass go off that one. Oh shit, he's Amish. He's Amish-ish. We can go and let him go. I know he ain't do nothing. With a name like that. Gotta be true. He might be adopted or something. But anyways, though, let's keep going back because this shit get crazier. So, with the deluge, right? The deluge. So the indications are that the red race, right, built an altar in the midst of Egypt, which altar most probably is the Great Pyramid. Ooh, the Great Pyramid, right? The altar, the Great Pyramid, Pyramid of Geezis. Geezis, remember, Egyptians, Mayans, right? Same people, right? Geezis, Giza, the Pyramid of Giza, the Pyramid of the Sun, right? The Pyramid of the Sun, the Great Pyramid of the Sun, Giza, Geezis, right? Peep game. So this people was admittedly qualified, both physically and mentally, to erect such a wonderful monument as an altar of witness. Now, what if they leaving out one key thing about all this? What if they leaving out one key thing about all this? The reason why, listen closely, I'm about to connect the dot with you because we covered this the other day. The reason why these people were both physically and mentally qualified to erect a Great Pyramid of the Sun is because these were giants. Only giants can be physically and mentally enough to build a pyramid. Giants. Remember all those giants that we found here in America? Some of them dating back to this time. Right? That 18-foot mummy giant mound builder that we read about. Right? Giants. We had the most giant mummies that was found in America than anywhere else. Right? Just like the idiots that DeSoto saw when he came here. He said that he saw giants. Yep. And then here's the other dot. Because we're connecting the dot, right? Geezis, the sun, all this, Algonquin, Greek, Etruscan, Egyptian, Mayan, right? It's all, specific people, right? Mayans, Moors, Sephardic, right? It's all specific people that we talking about, right? So all these giants were all mound builders. We talking about mound builders and Algonquins and shit. All these giants were mound builders who are descendants of pyramid builders. So now when you look at Greek mythology and understand that their Greek mythology is American mythology, because then you start to understand that these Greeks are actually descended from the Creeks. Greek mythology starts to make sense when you understand whether you're talking about Greek mythology or Egyptian mythology or Hindu pantheons or Asian pantheons. Most of those, if not all of those, are all American gods. They all American gods. And all those American gods are different names for one god, right? Which the physical reflection of that one God is the sun. The sun, right? But we say what? I'm vibration, right? The great I am. The great I am. Big game. Wow. breath, spirit, soul, vibration, frequency. In the beginning was the word. And the word was with God. Thought, consciousness. Right? So let's keep going though, because this shit about to get juicy. Right? So where we at? So the Great Pyramid. This people was qualified both physically and mentally, because they was giants, to erect such a wonderful monument. Right? Monument as an altar of witness. Such an altar must have been made as durable as time itself. If therefore the Great Pyramid really is this altar erected by the red races, right? The copper colored race, then it must have been constructed between the year BC 13,465 and BC 12,090, right? Among the Greeks, we also find beside, here we go, Apollo, right? Among the Greeks, we also find beside Apollo, Creek Indian Appalachian Mountains with his lyre or lyra is set in the skies adjoining Cygnus, the singing swan of the true Canaan, right? Canaan, the singing swan of the true Canaan, now Canada. So where's the land of Canaan or the land of Canaan? Canada. America's the real old world. Y'all do understand this whole time I've been reading to y'all, we've been in America this whole time. Even though I'm naming all these names, the Greek and shit, this is what's in America. We ain't crossed no seas yet. This whole time I've been reading to y'all, we in America. we in America the whole time. This is here. Right? This is the shit that's here. Come on, man. So besides Apollo, Creek Indian, right? Appalachia or Appalachian Mountain, right? Apollo Mountain, right? The mountain of the sun, with his lyre or lyra is set in the skies adjoining Cygnus, the singing swan of the true Canaan, which is Canada, which is where the Tower of Babel was at, but we ain't about to go there, right? But Canada, right? Okay. I appreciate that. As the god of music, right? As the god of music, the god Pan with his pipes, thus bringing the Pan's pipes like the harp to American soil. Who brought the harp to American soil? The god Pan, the god of music, Canada, right? The god of music, Pan. So where's the harp from that they trying to tell you? The harp is American and not Greek or Roman. Why you think that you are the masters of music, whether you know it or not? So everything about you is demonized. They demonize everything about you. The opposite. I'm telling you, they demonize everything about you. But through the characteristics, you can kind of put it together. You be like, hold on, right? Like when they say Lucifer, not the devil, not Satan, but Lucifer, because Lucifer, Satan, and devil is all three different things. They're not the same thing, right? The devil is the evil, right? The evil. The evil is devil, right? Satan is your adversary, right? That could be anybody, right? Adversary is just an enemy, somebody that opposes you, right? Those who is opposing us as Black Americans is Satan, literally, government, right? Peep game. Now, Lucifer is the light bringer, the light bearer. Remember what we just read about the fire bringer, fire bearer, right? Geezis, the sun, right? Geezis told you, I am the light and morning star and all that. Y'all will figure it out if y'all haven't figured it out yet, right? So peep game. Now, it's all in America though, right? The Old Testament, the Torah, right? Remember that live that I told y'all about that we had, right? Why did they take the Torah from you and give you the Bible? It's because the Torah is your story. As an American Indian, it's your story. It's about the creation story. The creation story took place here in America. The red race, or the copper color race, Black Americans, Negroes, right? We are the oldest on earth. We are the firstborns, right? Peep gang. Peep gang, peep gang, peep gang, peep gang. Peep gang, right? What's that, sister soul? Peace, peace, right? So, but Lucifer, right? Music and Lucifer has a lot to do with each other, right? And who makes the best music or good music, or who created all genres of music, right? Peep game, connect the dots, right? Lucifer was also what? Lord of the air, or God of the air, right? Now, a lot of people would say, yeah, that's why they messing up the air. But what if that's not why they're messing up the air? What if they messing up the air because of the fact that Lucifer, or the light bringer, the light bearer, is the Lord of air as well too? Ether. So you will want to pollute the air, or Lucifer, right? The light bringer, the light bearer. Peep gang. They flipped everything on you. All right, they flip everything on you, right? Let's keep going though. So, yeah, so the heart, so Pan, the god Pan, and the god of music, right? Who's the god of music, right? We just broke it down, right? The god of music, right? Lucifer, right? Light bringer, light bearer, right? The sun, right? He brought the heart to American soil. All right, let's keep going real quick. Right, so in the rivers, right? In the rivers where they finally settled comprise, quote, said Barnell, in Indian races of North and South America, unquote. Most that is noticeable in the American Indian traditions of the Six Nations. But, says Sir Daniel Wilson, in Lost Atlantis, right? Lost America, right? Lost Atlantis, Lost America, the value of such traditionary transmission, appreciate that, Adrian, such traditionary transmission of national history among unlettered tribes has received repeated confirmation as to the fanciful tale of a supernatural origin from the heart of the mountain. It is simply a literal rendering of the old Greek Creek metaphor of the autochthonous, or children of the soul, or soil. Listen to what they just said. What's the origin story of us? We are children of the soil. We come from the clay, soil, soul, sun. And it's symbolized by the Athenians wearing a grasshopper in their hair. And there lies before us a vast and complicated problem in the American races, unquote, says Professor Whitley. Quote, and it is their language that most do by far the greatest part of the work in solving it, unquote. Rhetoric was cultivated in the Indian council house no less earnestly than in the Athenian ecclesia, or the Roman form. Acute reasoning and persuasive equivalence demanded all the discriminating refinements of grammar and choice of terms which an ample vocabulary supplies. The vocabulary in use in some rural districts of England has been found to include less than 300 words, whereas the Iroquois Indians, though an older savage, possessed a language marvelously, systematically, and beautiful in structure. So they said at this time, England only had like 300 words. But that's crazy. Y'all ain't about to have no deep conversation with 300 words. That's wild. All right. Another reason why we ain't speaking British English. But let's keep going though. So, man, but well adopted to the requirements of an intricate reasoning and persuasive subtlety, Sir Daniel Wilson said. It is the teaching of these pages that the American Greek race, the American Greek race, the American Greek race, we're gonna let that marinate for a second. The American Greek race once conquered the world from this continent. Excuse me? The American Greek race once conquered the world from this continent of America and was then blotted out in a single dreadful night, leaving, however, clearest trace of their former greatness in their wretched survivors. Satisfying myself by personal observation of the work of the mound builders, right? The work of the mound builders, all ideas of mere combined labor was lost in the highest conviction of manifest skills and even science. The only satisfactory solution of the problem seems to present itself in the assumption of the existence among the mound builders of a theocratic order, right? Like the priest of an ancient Egypt, or the Bohemians of India, or the Incas of Peru. What's happening, OG tribe? Peace, peace. They said the American Greeks. Damn, ain't never heard that, boy. The American Greeks, fam. Shit. So, here we go. Oh, don't get it twisted. I know we reading a lot, but this live is still about Geezis. Don't get into this live is still about Geezis. Let the live say amen. Amen. Right? It's crazy, boy. We doing indigenous traditions. Which is technically Egyptian. Which is technically... They said the American Greeks. Hold on, y'all. The American Greeks. The American Greeks. Uh-oh, starting to make sense, huh? The American Greeks. We all know somebody that look like this dude, don't we? Stop playing. We all know somebody that look like this. Forehead and all. I know somebody that look like this too. Sleepy eyes and all. Mouth just open and shit when he breathing. You know he breathing through his mouth and shit. Yeah, he one of them mouth breathers. All right. These look real Mayan down here, right? Look at him. Right? These original Greeks, right? Look at him. This look very Mayan. right? We all know somebody that look like all of them. Come on, man. We all know somebody that look like all of them. The American Greeks. I mean, it wouldn't be far-fetched because if America's the real old world, and this is what America looked like before they destroyed it a little bit, before, the little bit that we got. And this is Greek architecture. Could those American Greeks build this American Greek structure that's actually been here for thousands of years before they destroyed it? Because this is built out of granite. Remember what we just read about granite, right? This is built out of granite. Don't let Google and these people lie to you and say that this is paper mache. Ain't no paper mache holding all these people. I built, right? We all built paper mache in school, right? Ain't no paper mache holding these people. This is actually granite, and granite can last up to thousands of years. So there's no telling how long this been here, but this picture is took in like in the late 1800s, right? We just gonna say late 1800s. So this shit been here for like thousands of years because it's granite. That mean this shit go way back. These buildings and all this shit go way back, right? Tartarian buildings, Tartarians, right? All that. Who did we just read that the Tartarians was? American Indians. Moors, Amoricas, Marus, Tartarians, original Mongolians, hence why you got Mongolian spots on your ass. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Put it together. Greek, Crete, Cretan, Croatian. Like I'm just saying, man, we just throwing some shit out there from what we just read. Because when you really dissect the languages, you will see the infinities. But the infinities is telling you that these are American Indian words that later on gets modified in, the Greek language, Roman, you get all that. But in reality, here's what I've came up with. America's the real old world. The Tower of Babel was over here. We are the only people around Earth that's babbling. But when I say babbling, all languages have to come from the tongue of 1,000 languages. We speaking with a tongue that is of 1,000 languages. Once again, if you sit here and break down the whole American English language and Ebonics that we speak, ain't none of this shit British English and ain't none of this shit African. Most of everything that's flying out my mouth right now that you're hearing is either Gaelic, Old Latin, Paleo-Hebrew, Hebrew, Arabic, a lot of American Indian words that you do not know because you wasn't taught the vocabulary, but a lot of American Indian words is flying out. And the dialect that you speak with is an old ass dialect still to this day. They want y'all to think that it's country, it's ghetto, it's broken language, but understand that's what they do to your culture, right? Because that's the only thing left that's still standing, so they gotta disrespect it. But literally, the way that we speak, the way that we form our words, our structure, the cadence, how we run it together, the certain words that we choose, everything like that, just it's all old. It's ancient. If you ever really want to know how people sound like, it was like this. Outside of what your tribal tongue may have been, but some of those, some of those indigenous languages inside those books, I take with a grain of salt. because I know for a fact that if I gotta reclassify the Indian and all of this type of stuff, I got to fuck up their language too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a little common sense, right? I gotta fuck up their language a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just in case, nigga. So some of those indigenous words and languages and phrases, I just, I kind of stay away from, right? Me personally, if you want to learn the language, the certain languages, it's cool. I'm not knocking you from it. But I strongly believe that our ancestors were sounding just like how we sound right now, how I'm talking to you. I really do. You know what I'm saying? I really do feel like that this is how we sound. This is how we always sound. You know what I'm saying? Because I know better. I know ain't no white British man came over here and talked this shit to me. They don't even sound like me. I know my name ain't come from no white British man. Nigga, white people can't even pronounce my last name. That's how I know that shit don't come from white folks. White folks can pronounce anything, right? They do the pronunciation. Oh no, they be with all that bullshit. Nigga can't pronounce my last name for shit. That's how I know it don't come from no white person. You know what I'm saying? Like, just P game. And as we've been reading, don't none of this shit come from white people. White people ain't invent shit. All these niggas do is steal, pillage, and move in and infiltrate and steal other people's shit and pass it off as theirs. Right? That's what they always been doing. So they never invented nothing. We invented everything, language and all of that type of shit. So what makes you think that we didn't invent this shit that we speak it? We speak it so good. Don't nobody speak like us. Don't nobody cuss like us. Don't nobody put these words together. Man, we wake up in a new slang word. Don't nobody do this shit like us. And they mad because they can't speak like us, talk like us, run that shit down like us, because of what we speak is tied to something greater that they can't. Now, if you throw the history and the agnostics and the hermetics behind it, you really start to understand some shit. That's what I really truly believe. And this is why they all try to imitate the Ebonics. Because they know, remember, these people ain't slow. They know what it is. This is why they so fascinated with our culture, because of shit that they read about in history books. Oh, we read about y'all. I mean, I gotta keep my whiteness card, so I can't really I gotta be racist. I'm sorry. But I read about you guys when I was over there. Yeah, they said that y'all can do amazing things. Right? You guys are fast, high jumping, damn near can fly. Like Michael Jordan taking off 15 foot away. He just gliding through the air. Like, oh my God. You guys' aura, your culture is always evolving. And can I touch your hair? You know what I'm saying? Like, it get creepy fucking with these niggas and shit. But we the only people that people do that shit with. We the only people. These niggas been around Africans. Niggas ain't trying to touch Africans' hair. I ain't trying to sound fucked up. Ain't nobody trying to touch an African hair, man. A nigga in Nigeria ain't going to Asian. The Asian like, can I touch your hair? The Nigerian like, sure. And that ain't happening, bro. Everybody want to touch us. I'm just being real. Even when motherfuckers hate us, they still want to touch us. Right? Peace, Shamika. Right? Even when people hate us, they still want to touch us. It's something about us that's that God energy. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you. As long as you don't know what it is, they can keep manipulating you. Is when you figure it out, all control is over with. That's that God energy. Like, literally, that's that God energy. You children of the sun. This ain't no conspiracy. This ain't no fantasy. This ain't no Disney. You are literally a child of the sun. They said the children of the sun will know that they come from the sun because they are sun-kissed. The sun rays, it is like warmth and love, and it just feels, and that's what it feels like when we go outside. Real talk. That's what it feel like. That's what it feel like to be a melanated person. The sun hit you the right way, you be like, boy, this shit feel good as hell, nigga. I can be out here all day. Shit. Nigga fucked around and went to sleep, wake up looking like Wesley Snipes. Damn, I'd have been out here too long. Like, for real. The people who is not children of the sun, they don't get sun-kissed. They get sunburnt. They are allergic to the sun. They have a ever war and beef with the sun. This is why they try to cover it up. The children of the sun wouldn't cover up the sun. That defeats the purpose. The children who are not of the sun, but they are of the devil, the real shaitan, they gonna cover up the sun. They gonna mess up your food. They gonna destroy nature and earth because they are not from here. This is not their realm. This is your realm and you have dominion. They hijacked your realm. These are parasitical people. These are parasites. Where do they come from? I say over the ice wall and just leave it at that. But they parasitical people. They got trapped over here after the ice wall froze. And they've been leeching and fucking up ever since then. Some of them trying to get out because they can't survive in this atmosphere. They can't survive in this atmosphere. The sun don't like them. The grass don't like them. The bugs hate them. The animals don't want to fuck with them. We ain't trying to fuck with them. Nothing nature and natural is trying to fuck with them for real. And they destroy everything that's nature and natural. Traumatizing the animals, doing all type of nasty shit to them. Animals be traumatized like a motherfucker. He touched you too. He touched me. He's touched all of us. What the fuck is wrong with him? We don't know. They don't want to tell you. That's what STDs come from, these niggas. I swear to bro, go research that shit. STDs come from them niggas. Them niggas sleeping with animals and shit. That's how STDs became a thing that crossed over into, man, that shit nasty as fuck, bro. I'm just keeping it written. Parasitical people. Pestilence. Right? Understand this shit. Understand it. It ain't wrong. It ain't wrong. And if it sounds wrong to people, it's because you are brainwashed. Even though your eyes is showing you exactly everything I'm telling you. As long as you brainwashed, you ain't, man, sound racist. Why can't we all just get along and hug and shit? Because that ain't true. That's some shit that they told you. If I was conquering you, that's some shit that I say. Look, if I was conquering a dominant people and I'm scared of these dominant people at any day that they could wake up, I'm going to brainwash you to be passive and docile and shit. I'm going to hit you with the, we're all one people. You just all get along with, we all bleed red. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All from Africa. So technically we're all African. You know what I'm saying? That's some shit that they would say because they're scared. Their only defense mechanism is to try to get along. But they know at any given day, they know. So this is why that they are super racism. That's the whole reason why you create a false matrix about whiteness. This the whole reason you create this whole virtual reality because you scared. And all this shit is to protect you because you scared. Because you know that you're not the superior race. You're inferior. And it's a fact. It can sound any kind of way that it wants to, but it's a fact. Genetically, you are inferior. It's a fact. You age older, you age like wet bread, smell like goddamn dog and sulfur, ticks and lice. Love you niggas. I'm just being real, I'm getting cussed out right now in comments on TikToks because I came across, I was scrolling through one day. It was yesterday, right? Real shit, true story. They cussing me out right now under this video because they was washing their face and they put the water in their hand and they just said and dropped their face off and walked off. And I was like, ugh. I promise. I swear to you, I did that shit. I seen it, this was water, and they said, and dried their face and walked off. And I wrote in the comments, I was like, ugh. You gonna use no washcloth? Soap? It was like I washed my hands. The fuck that got to do with your face? I swear to you, that's what they all hit me with. I wash my hands. I do it too. I wash my hands. What are you talking about? I ain't talking about wash. I'm talking about your face. Water? What the fuck is that? You ain't put no soap on no rag and exfoliate, get the pores behind the ears and shit, you know what I'm saying? Get the nose, you know what I'm saying? Hit the lips, get the dead skin off behind the ears, you know, twist the little part, clean the nose out if you smoke, get the tar and shit. Like, when they go wash your shit, what are you talking about? I was like, I see why my ancestors built the Great Wall on y'all niggas, because we've been trying to teach y'all how to wash y'all ass for over 1,000 years and y'all just ain't got it yet. I swear to you, like, niggas been trying to teach you to wash your ass for 1,000 years and y'all still, that shit just ain't. Not all of you, because, you know, not all white people the same, but I'm talking about them Neanderthals. That shit just ain't registering. They just barbaric. I swear to you, them niggas was like, what are you talking about in the comments? I was like, damn, y'all really don't know what I'm talking about when I'm saying use a washcloth to wash your face with some soap and shit. I washed my hands. They just kept hitting me with that. And I was like, man, let me get the fuck off this comment. Like, that's all they kept saying to me. It was like, I washed my hands. I was like, man, let me get off this motherfucking video, bro. Because shit ain't registering. For real. Man. They different from the 1800s. London, the Coney Island, man. Look. Whew. Straight bar. No washcloth, man. Look. Hey. Man, look, bruh. You said some people in Africa wash their face off in cow pee. I ain't got shit to do with that. Shit, them niggas is nasty too. But we ain't talking about them. We talking about white folks right now. we ain't talking about Africa. We talking about white folks right now. Shit. For some reason, everybody want to always divert the topic from the main topic. Why y'all always do that? Are y'all scared to talk about these people? I'm just saying, like, are y'all scared to talk about these people that anytime people talk about it, you gotta divert it back to a dark-skinned person of any other region? Nah, we gonna sit right here and talk about their ass. Ain't worry about no African. Them niggas don't own shit in America. Shit, them niggas don't even own their names. They say shit like love is love, man. Look, I can't. Hell no. But shit, that's just what it is. But anyway, though, back to these American Greeks, right? Who are American Indians, as we just already solidified and acknowledged that these American Greeks are American Creeks or Crete or, you know, American Indians. That would explain this structure that was built by American Indians in an area that is like ancient Creek Indian territory, as we just read, right? The Ohio Valley and shit, right? Illinois World Fairs, St. Louis, right? Ohio, you know what I'm saying? Peep game, right? And every Indian, look, and here's what I've connected the dots so far. Every different tribe of Indian built a different structure that later on in history gets renamed something else. For these mosques, we got mosque or remnants of mosque in America that existed before Islam was even created by Muhammad. But remember though, Muhammad and all of them people ain't nothing but Shamites and American Indians anyways, that later on we'll do a Muhammadan breakdown, because it goes back to Thoth as well too, right? Thoth, Allah, Thoth, Buddha, Christ, Christo, Buddha, Jesus. We'll get there. We'll do all that. But anyways though, we got remnants of mosque here. That's old as shit, right? We got Roman style buildings, right? That another different tribe built, right? We also have remnants of old synagogues and shit. We got remnants of temples that, if you actually look at them, you can tell that they've been melted or petrified by something or whatever the case. But we got old temples that look like Tibet temples and China temples and shit. There's still remnants all over Vegas and Grand Canyons and Utah and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So we still got all type of remnants of the old world. You know, whether they buildings that's still standing or whether they petrified and turned to stone and melted and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But every different tribe built a different structure. This is why you can find all structures all through America. You can find castles that look England, right? That look like Britons, right? Remember who the Britons is, the British Indians, right? You can find castles here that look like Breton castles. You can find Roman style castles. You can find mosque or what you call Arabic style architecture or Moors, right? You can find Sephardic Jewish or Israelite type of altars and buildings that's still here. You can find Carthaginians and Phoenician stuff or Paleo Hebrew, right? You can find all type of different structures here, but these structures let you know who used to inhabit here, right? Like I said, all Indians, India Superior, the first land out of the waters, the first inhabitant of the lands. The deluge came, a nice group of American Indians left America, went their different ways, west and east, and they've been called different things throughout time. Just like the sun was called different things throughout time, right? Children of the sun, right? They went to Ireland, became known as mystics or druids or Picts or pygmies, right? Chaldees, right? The Moshe, Moses, right? Was a Chaldee, right? You know, Italy, Sicily, Iberian, right? They become Sephardites and they become Moors, right? You go to Breton, they become the Bretons or they become British Indians or Blackamoors as they call. You go to the northern part of what you call Africa, they become Mauritanians, they become uh, Egyptians or Gypsies, they become Tuaregs, Berbers, all Moors and Shamites, right? Your first dynasty of Egyptian, Queen Tai and all of them with the Afro. You dig what I'm saying? You go down the coast of with that continent called Africa and you start getting into South Africa, you go into the Moshe African tribe. There's an African tribe that literally still carry the South American Indian name, and their story is that they come from over the Great Waters, which is the Atlantic, South America. They are called the Moshe African tribe. Moshe is a South American Indian tribe. So what happened was the Moshe South American Indian tribe was at war with the Incas. The Incas got the best of them and exiled them to Africa. So that's how the Moshe South American Indians became the Moshe African tribe, right? And there's a couple of other tribes that come from over here that got banished or exiled or, you know, whatever the case may be. Right? Mansa Musa, Bacardi, Mali and all of that, Moors, once again, right? Moors, Mauritanians, Berbers, Tuaregs, whoop-de-whoop, same goddamn people, right? You go to the Indus Valley or the Hindus, the original ones, not the ones that you see today that's mixed with like Dravidians and Caucasians and shit, but the original ones, right? The ones that I showed you look like, you know, that look like us and shit. Right? They have Nagas and Krishna and, you know, Buddha and Brahma and all of that over there in the Asian continent, which we all know is just another different name for Thoth, you know, that lets us know who's over there as well too. That's why I say follow the Naga, you'll find your people. When you follow the Naga, you find your people, because all these people I just named always kept the Naga or the serpent with them, right? When you talk about the Negas or the Egyptians, serpent, third eye, Nagas, right? You talk about Buddha, Brahma, all them, Nagas, Krishna, Naga, right? You talk about the Eurochardes in Erie or Ireland, right? Nagas, serpent, right? Yeah. You follow the Naga, you find your people, most definitely, right? And we just learned another one called the Ethiopians, right? means fire. Opius or opus means serpent. So Ethiopian fire serpent, or those of the fire serpent tribe, Nagas. You dig what I'm saying? So Pete gang. So we learned a lot with that though. We learned a lot with that. But we was all in America with it. That's the crazy thing about all the books that we just read. We was all in America with it. And we started with Geezis. All because we started with one word called Geezis, the sun, which led us to Jesus, the son, which led us to Thoth, which led us to I am, which is another name for Maya, right? Which led us to back to American Indian language, right? The Creeks. The Creeks linked up, Greeks, Creeks, American Greeks, one and the same. So your Greek mythology is just American Indian mythology, whitewashed. Well, now is whitewashed, right? But we know all those Greek gods was Negroes, American gods, right? Egyptian gods, Greek gods, American gods, all the same. So it's a lot of connections. It's a lot of connections because these are the same people. That's all I'm trying to say. The reason why there's a lot of connections because these are all the same people building and creating the same shit that they have always built and create in America. This is why you can find Tartaria buildings and pyramids and hieroglyphs and everything all around the world. And it looks just like the Olmec, the Mayans, the Levanta, and the Incas. The Ogon and the Orishas, that's our stuff too. The Orishas, I mean, you can kind of say that. I wouldn't go full-fledged into it, but yeah, the Orishas technically came from the Arabs. The original Arabs brought the Orishas into Africa. When you talk about the Yoruba tribe, the Yarub, the Yoruba tribe, and I think the Igbo and all them, a lot of them brought the Orishas and all that from the Middle East, because there's a side of Islam that people don't know or don't recognize, but there's mystics, is what they call them, right? They are Muslims who believe in Gnosticism, Hermetics, and esoterics and all that, but they are called Islamic or Muslim mystics, right? So, but yeah, eventually it all comes back to America. It all comes back to America, yeah. Yep. I think I got enough books to where I can trace the Orishas to America. I could probably do something like that one time. Yeah, they call them Sufi. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And remember what we learned about the word Sufi, Sophia, Sophia, right? Peep game. Mm-hmm. Sufism. It all comes back to America. They know how to bind spirits and use them to their advantage. Yeah. They do a lot of work with jinn. Mm-hmm. Yep. They do a lot of work with jinn. Most of your I ain't gonna do it like that. But a nice number of the white Arabs that are Muslim that be running the liquor store, the reason why they can run a liquor store is because they're not your traditional Muslims. A lot of them is mystics. Someone would profess to be Sufi or Sufism, but someone be doing like a Islamic version of the Talmud type shit. Like that shit get real crazy. When you figure out a lot of different corruptions of certain stuff that people really believe. So a lot of them be doing like some of that Talmud bullshit, but in an Arabic Muslim type of way, right? Because, when you take the religion away and you talk about the people, they all the same people too, right? All when you talk about Arab, white Arabs, when you talk about small hats, Turks, Armenians, Mormons, Amish, they all genetically are brothers. They all come from the same common ancestor, which goes all the way back to the Caucasus Mountains, right? We just read about, we was trying to teach somebody for 30,000 years in the Caucasus Mountains where a certain group of people was chained and binded to, right? All right, so P gang, right? But a lot of them go back there. Excuse me. They just hijacked the religion and they, just corrupted it for their own workings. The best disguise is a religious disguise. For real. In today's world, I hate to say it, but a best disguise is a religion disguise. People been seeing pastors do corrupt shit this whole time and they still be supporting them. Priests and rabbis and shit, motherfuckers, all type of crazy shit be coming out and niggas still be supporting these niggas, you know what I'm saying? Still be believing in what they be saying and all of that and not doing their own research for themselves. So the best disguise, that's why they said that the devil or Satan, your adversary, mask around as an angel of light. Shit, that sound like I'm masquerading as a pastor, priest, and pope to me. I know thou works, who say that they are, but they are actually, what? And those are some of the main people. Listen to what I'm telling you. Those are some of the main people who can't stand the sun. Go research it. Go research them small hats. But sun, sir, and sun, that shit high amongst them. They don't like the sun. The sun don't like them. Some of them be allergic to the sun. Face be swelling up in hives when they come outside and shit. Yeah. Ugh. And that's just them, but a lot of other folks. Keeping it real. That's why I say, man, don't knock the Bible not until you decode that motherfucker and understand that it's still talking about the Indian. It's telling you a different side of history, right? Colonial books is only one direction of this history. This what happened here in America to the American Indian, to us Black Americans. It happened on a whole larger scale than it's more than just colonial and reclassifications. Like, it's a whole spiritual war that's going on. And if you don't understand how these people work in this spiritual world, because they definitely weaponize the spiritual realm against you. And when I say spiritual realm, I'm talking about the unseen realm. I'm talking about frequencies, vibrations, atoms, molecules. I'm talking about cells, Geezis, irises. I'm talking about the whole shebang. All of that is spiritual warfare, fam. You know what I'm saying? Hijacking your consciousness, psyops, brainwash, all that manipulation, propaganda, all that is spiritual warfare, bro. Knowing that you an Indian does nothing if you ain't got your mind right. You could say you an Indian all day, but if you spiritually and soulfully dead, you say you an atheist and you don't believe in shit, you know, I mean, it's hard for me to take that serious of you being an Indian, because our ancestors always believed in something that was greater than themselves. And it's documented. And your grandmama was there too, and she'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? So now it makes it a little bit more easier for you to understand why grandmama hold on to Jesus so much, especially since we Indians. Jesus, right? Jesus, the name, or Geezis, isn't really the problem. The problem is the imagery in the lies that's told behind the imagery that shapes the perception and dociles our people. That's how you weaponize your religion. You feel me? So, Geezis technically is real. It's the sun. Literally, it's the sun. Geezis, Jesus, Yeezus, the sun. Hawa, Ah, Om, I am. It's the creator of all things. Right? So be game. And you are a child of that. This is why you have the rhythm of the earth and the aura of the sun. You just shine bright in whatever you do. No matter how oppressed you are, you're going to always shine bright like the sun. That's how you know you're a child of the sun. No matter how oppressed no matter what they did to us through history, from all the atrocities, we still be shining. Everybody still want to be like us. Some motherfuckers want to be oppressed like us. I be like, damn, bro, this shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? We still be shining. We still influential. We still be smiling. You still can't break us. We still gonna enjoy life, no matter how hard it get. Feel me? Come on. Right? Yeah. P game. So now y'all know. Now y'all know, right? So let me get back to it real quick because I wanted to read this before we close it out for the night. And if y'all want to donate to the Cash App, you can feel free. I accept all donations, however much you feel is, your heart decides. You feel me? But I appreciate everybody for tuning in and the likes and the gifts and your attention. Most of all, though. Most of all. So, page 414, real quick. So astronomy, geology, anthropology, and psychology as the foundation stones of prehistoric religion survives in the Bible and is the epitomized in the creed. The creed have been handed down in its most condensed form by the Christian church. It may, however, be extracted from the religion, poetry, philosophy, history, and mythology of ancient, classic, and pagan authors and races. Out of the mouths of many witnesses, its truth is conformed. It may be displayed in two forms. Microcosmic, representing the worldwide traditions, and microcosmic, or the internal doctrine symbol of the Church of Christ, Christos, right? Christ consciousness. The microcosm version is as preserved in the ancient classics. I believe in God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and in Jacques Peter, from which prince our race is descended, Virgil. Compare Hindu Krishna, American Indian Kreski equals Geezis, Egyptian Gizeh or Giza or Giza. So when somebody asks me about what is Giza, there you go. Giza or Giza, Giza, the pyramid of Giza is the same as Geezis, the American Indian Kreski, which is Krishna, who is Buddha, who is Tat, who is Tut, who is Thoth, who is the light bringer, the light bearer. The Son is the Father is the Son. Right? So there you go right there if you want to screenshot it. Hermes, yeah, if you want to screenshot it. The Indian and the Egyptian are the same people. The Indian Christ gay is Geezis. the Egyptian Geezis or Jesus, born on the Virgin Electra, suffered under whom it might be, was struck by a thunderbolt. Struck by a thunderbolt, right? Zeus threw the thunderbolt, Unalived and buried, he descended into hell. The third day he rose again from the dead. He ascended into heaven and and sitteth on the right hand of God the Father Almighty. O divine ether, right? Look at that ether. O divine ether, and ye swift winged breeze, and ye foundations. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that, OG Tribe. And ye foundations of rivers. All right. Hold on, my bad. I lost my spot. Hold on, give me a second. All right, there we go. So, O divine ether, and ye swift winged breeze, and ye foundations of rivers, and countless dimplings of the waves of the deep, and thou earth, mother of all, right? Earth, mother of all, right? Gaia, and to the all-seeing orb of the sun, right? All-seeing orb, right? The eye, right? I appeal. Look upon me. What treatment I, a god, am enduring for having bestowed boons or bones upon mortals. Earth doeth have, and the roaring echo of thunder rose, howling by us, and deep blazing rafts of lightning are glaring, and hurricanes whirl, and dust, and blast of all the winds, and leaping forth, and the firmament, right? The firmament, there you go, the dome, right? And leaping forth, and the firmament is embroiled with the deep. O dread majesty of my brother Earth, oh, my bad. Oh, that shit small as hell. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. O dread majesty of my mother Earth, O ether, that different thy common light thou beholdest the wrong I suffer, right? Primeval of the temple, unquote. Emblemic, emblemic of the ethereal curtains between earth and heaven, right? The ethereal curtains between earth and heaven was rent, and the earth trembled, and the rocks were rent. So, yeah. Yeah, that shit was small as hell. My bad, y'all. My eyes start getting cross-eyed for a second. The etheric. All right. So there you go. Jesus. Man. Jesus. Man. So that was a good read, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all enjoyed that read? Did y'all learn something new? Excuse me. And we'll go over it a few more times, but y'all know, recap weekends is over here. Recap weekends is around the corner, so y'all know, we always recap everything that we learned this week. So, we'll definitely go over that more and more. I'll probably add a couple more pages into it and everything like that. America, the real old world, right? Children of the sun, right? Sun, right? That's what they said, right? Jesus, right? Tho, wow. right? Children of the sun, right? They said these Indians were physically strong that build pyramids. The only way that you're going to be physically strong to build a pyramid is if you're a giant, right? You know, the smaller Indians made the concrete and the mortar. Big giants laid it. Underneath Geezis, right? So y'all already know what it is, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Can you talk about body symbols? Whether we had body symbols that connected us to the earth. I could talk about tattoos. One live. I can talk about the tattoos in the live. Because we definitely had tattoos. You know, tattoos definitely meant something. Tattoos definitely meant something as well. So we'll cover them. So with that being said though, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live right here. I gotta go get me something to eat before the store closes. Probably just get me some fried rice or something. I ain't about to do too much. If y'all haven't tapped into my YouTube page, make sure y'all tap into my YouTube page, Signs Up for the Conscious Mind. Appreciate that, Dream. You know, Signs Up for the Conscious Mind. I upload all my lives up there. Hey, appreciate that, OG Tribe. I upload all my lives up there just in case you miss one, just in case you need a recap, just in case you want to get some sources, some books and everything. Appreciate that, Lou. If y'all interested in buying a copy of my book, if y'all haven't, the link is in the bio and the gumroll link, Aneclipses of America. This type of information is definitely inside Aneclipses in America. Reclaiming Our Consciousness 1 and 2 talks about how they weaponize the spiritual realm against us and everything like that. It really gets deep. Talk about holographic universe and all of that, right? So, you know, if y'all interested and you want to support the channel, support your boy, you know, hit that gumroll link, grab your copy of the ebook right now, download straight to your phone. You always got a source with you in your pocket. You feel what I'm saying? Tomorrow, I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So I can't even give y'all an update. It'll be something pertaining to this topic. So I guess we're just going to have to see and be surprised. So with that being said, man, enjoy the rest of y'all day. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the likes, the love, the gifts. Y'all the real MVPs. Until next time, vibrate high. See y'all in these TikTok streets. Peace, peace, peace.